Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome into one of the rare just chatting streams. This is going to be our what seems to be an annual thing now. This is going to be a recap of what happened at TwitchCon 2023. It happened in Las Vegas, Nevada. We're going to jump right into this because this is also going to be posted on the other site called YouTube. We're going to be posting it there, so we'll have additional content. It's going to be probably a couple of hours, and I will go over this a few times because I know people are going to be dropping in here. And there's going to be question and answer. There's going to be ideas. If you guys want to kick around ideas, we're going to talk about those things. We're going to be doing, like I said, I've got notes from all of the sessions that I attended, including 2 sessions that I walked out on. So there's that. We're going to be doing the big reveals. There's 2 big things that were revealed that I thought was kind of new. What's going on, Hayden? How are you? So there's kind of a lot of 2s. We've got the 2 sessions that I walked out of, literally just stood up and walked out. I was like, I'm done with this shit. We've got 2 big facts that were revealed to me. Things that I didn't know, things that I'm pretty convinced are like urban myths in the world of content creation and streaming, especially streaming on Twitch. Every single person that I have told, I've shared it with, one of them I've shared with like 3 people since TwitchCon, and all of them are like, no way, I didn't know that. So it was quite a thing. So we've got that. What's up, Edistavo? How are you? Hayden, I'm glad you're doing well. I'm feeling okay. I have talked a lot today. I have had to deal with very unnecessary ignorance. But I also had, some of you saw that I posted a little, just kind of a vague thing in the PJ Party Discord about my son, something that happened to him yesterday. And I had to have some conversations about that with people, and it turned out so well. I cannot tell you how proud I am of my son, other than to say what my son did, I found out wasn't for him. He was standing up for other people. And I was just like, wow, like that's the kid that I've raised. That's what we've always taught him to do, and he did it. So anyway, so there's nothing to do with tonight, but just wanted to let you guys know. Captain Havoc, Faulty G, how are you guys doing? It goes, feeling extremely full from a bowl full of homemade crock pot chicken curry. Nice. Maybe we'll talk about food tonight too. Yeah, exactly, Aristavo. Standing up for others is awesome. I posted it on a personal Facebook page. It's not public. But I ended it with, basically the idea was, this is how we're going to protect freedom in the world, is when you stand up for other people's rights. It's one thing if you stand up for your rights, but it's another thing when you stand up with no benefit to yourself, when you stand up for other people. Winning. So cool. Good. You had a coffee date. I think it went well. Very cool. Congratulations, Faulty. So anyways, let me run through this again with you guys. So tonight we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff. This is mostly for content creators, but it also might be really interesting for viewers that don't create content on a regular basis. I'm going to be going through the sessions I attended, the people that I met, what it was like in Vegas. This was the first year that TwitchCon has been in Las Vegas. So that was cool. They've already announced that it's not coming back. So I am kind of disappointed. I'll tell you why. We're going to be talking about creator tips. We're going to be talking about partner. We're going to be talking about affiliates. We're going to be talking about viewers. We're going to be talking about audiences. We're going to be talking about, I said this early in the episode. We're going to be talking about the 2 sessions that I walked out of, just stood up and walked out. We're going to be talking about the 2 things that I have not met a single creator that knew them. And they were just kind of dropped in a couple of sessions, and I was like, what? And there was one where the entire session, when this thing got dropped, when this little fact, the whole session was just like, shut up, no way, oh, I didn't know. It was a moment. What's up, Witchy? How are you doing? Blowing smoke, how are you? 07s to you. So anyways, we're 5 minutes into this now, so I'm going to get started. People have people have had a chance to get here. I mean, come on, let's go. So I've got all my notes over here. So if you see me looking over here, it's because I don't want to forget anything. And I have so much to tell you about TwitchCon. Now, a couple of things. Bad Mofo, what's going on with you? How are you? Couple of things. If you are a content creator on Twitch, and that is one of your primary platforms or your major primary platform, I really, really, really encourage you to go to a TwitchCon. I've now been to 2 of them. I have not been disappointed either time. They have a ton of education. There is so much information that goes out on these things. They really, really do try to... I just noticed the only thing scrolling is the cheer. Huh. That's stupid. Anyways, so the banned word went terribly. We gave out so many points because I'm an idiot. So... Oh, by the way, also for everybody that's here, if you are normally part of our community and you're normally in chat, I have deactivated a lot of things because this is not a gaming stream. This is not a chaos stream. This is hopefully educational for a lot of people. So a lot of things you're not going to find. Sorry. We're here to learn and we're all going to learn together. So anyways, so that's all going to happen. What the hell was I talking about? I know it was TwitchCon, but what else? Hey, how's it going, Reese? What's up with you? What the hell was I talking about? TwitchCon, Vegas. They're not coming back to Vegas. I also taught, what the fuck was I saying? Whatever. I got distracted. Hello. Who's helloing? Oh, it's Chappie. Hi, Chappie. So all of that. And then I'm forgetting what I was talking about. Oh yeah. So the cool things that got announced, we did that too. We're going to be talking about all of that. But like I said, this is going to be an educational stream, hopefully. So a lot of the buttons and things are turned off. So quick thing. At TwitchCon 2023. Great. Again, great event. If you're a content creator, you want to be there. You learn a lot. You see a lot. You meet a lot of people. And the meeting the people is a key thing. And you're going to see me talk about this throughout this broadcast tonight, is the connections you make at a TwitchCon are really, really valuable. I met one of the people who screens partner applications. That was helpful. Yeah, that was helpful. I met one of the people who screens ambassador applications. That was helpful. So like you meet really cool people. The CEO was there, which we can do. Honestly, we could do, and if you want me to, I will. We can do an entire segment about the new CEO of Twitch. He took over this year. He took over in March. I like him. I'm impressed with him. I think he is a good step in the right direction for the company. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Rooster? So let's get started with a couple of things. Vegas. What was the event like in Vegas? I had one big issue with San Diego, and that was San Diego seemed very packed. San Diego was crammed, what seemed like it was crammed into the San Diego Convention Center. It was okay, like it wasn't bad, but Vegas seemed like wide open. Vegas seemed like it could handle the crowds. And I will tell you, I went through multiple places where like bigger creators had like walking meet and greets, like, you know, their fans were like following them around trying to get pictures and stuff. There was room for it. You could walk around them. You couldn't really do that in Vegas. It was pretty cool. So I think they did that well in Vegas. The food was terrible and expensive. But then again, if you're going to the convention hall for food, you're probably in the wrong place. Quick addressing of one rumor that is flying around the internet right now. TwitchCon is not going to Dayton, Ohio next year. Just letting you know. That was a joke. The CEO said it 2 days or yesterday, I think. It's a joke. That's not how you announce where TwitchCon is going. It's not going to Dayton, Ohio, first of all. Second of all, that's not how they would announce it. So no, it will not be in Dayton, Ohio. If you see people continuing to share that post, please tell them to stop. It's starting rumors and it's terrible. Another thing about it that I thought was interesting, I heard this twice in 2 different ways, but I basically heard the same idea. At TwitchCon, they're a little bit more open about the things they will discuss with you. They'll reveal a little bit more because they're not recorded. All but like, I don't know, 5 sessions or whatever it was out of like the 100 that were available to you. They're not recorded. So they'll have conversations with you. They'll give you insights that they know are not going to go live instantaneously because you can't live stream them either. So it was, like I said, the conversations were cool and the people were cool. And if you're a content creator on Twitch and that is a primary focus for you, I would recommend going to the next TwitchCon because you will learn a lot. It's not something you can get anywhere else. I can only attend so many sessions and share it with you here on Twitch. You need to go to the ones you care about. But I do try to pick my sessions with more than myself in mind. So there's a couple of, like last year, I went to the VTuber session. I don't know if you guys know this. Papa Juggernaut's not a VTuber, but I went to the VTuber session because I wanted to share insights with all the friends that I have that are VTubers. I didn't. Now, maybe I missed it. I went through the entire schedule. I never saw a VTuber session. So I was a little confused this year. I was like, where? There's no VTuber session. That's weird. So whatever. It was what it was. But so TwitchCon itself, I think, was a great year. Last year had all the terrible injury controversies and all the drama with people. This year, not so much. This year, the only drama was when the spokesperson for Kick decided that they wanted to crash the party with a bunch of friends. They quickly got escorted out. I will tell you, I never left that building during TwitchCon, other than, at night I went out. But during TwitchCon, I never left the convention center. I never even heard about it. Like, that's how quickly they dealt with that guy. So cool. That was a good thing. And we liked that. Security was great. The booths were great. Overall, really, really effective TwitchCon. I think they did a great job. I am really curious where it's going to go next year because I think they did well with Vegas. The cool thing about Vegas is that if you don't want to go to all the sessions, you could go to other things. You could go to a bar. You could go to a restaurant. You could go to a museum. You could go to an escape room. There's other stuff if you wanted to break up your day. I hope that's true wherever they go next. So whatever. Sponsors. Let's talk about the sponsors. The major sponsors that I remember: Honda, weird. Meta Quest, the VR set, the new Quest. They used to call it Oculus. Now it's Quest. Meta Quest. Sony InZone. Sony had a really nice booth. So did Meta. Meta had a really nice booth. It was this huge round, like you could play in it. They were demoing products in it. It was really, really cool. Elgato had a great booth. They weren't a title sponsor or anything, but Honda, Doritos, MetaQuest, Sony InZone, Amazon Prime. Those were all the primary sponsors that I remember, and I feel like I'm forgetting one. One thing I wanted to say about one of the sponsors, and Doritos, I hope you hear this from more than me, and I bet you did. Doritos, your booth was stupid. Your booth was the dumbest fucking thing there. I have a picture, guys. I will show it to you at some point. The Doritos booth was the size of a big living room. Like, it was a huge space. And it was a Doritos store. Like, aisles of Doritos bags, including the special edition ones for Sea of Thieves, where you put in the Xbox code and you get something, whatever. Aisles of this shit. Bag after bag after, just thousands of bags of Doritos. You couldn't buy them. I was so pissed. I was walking up and down the aisle, and my wife even told me, she was like, I don't think you can buy these. I think these are just for display. And I was like, why would you set up literally a store that you can't buy from? Look, there's a check stand right there. There was a person standing at a cashier stand. Ding, da, ding, da. You could. I walk up, I take the bag, and the guy, he must have said this 1,000 times that day. I'm sorry, sir, they're for display only. Like, what? He said, we can't sell them. I said, but it's just, okay, I'm done. Check it, I'm done. No, Dorito, the chip, Rooster, what was wrong with you? So, yeah, Doritos literally built a mock store, and the whole thing was mock, including buying stuff. You couldn't do it. It was so ridiculous. I don't know why they did it. I don't know why they invested the money in it. If all you wanted to do was hand out Doritos, go get five street teamers, have them run around handing out Doritos bags. Because they did have, you could pick up, they had these little sample bags of the new Doritos barbecue. They were good, by the way. Doritos barbecue, they were good. I liked them. My wife liked them. My kid liked them. Everything was fine. But it was the little sample sizes. They had on the store shelves, they had the bags. Couldn't buy them. So Doritos, big waste of money. I was not impressed when I found out I couldn't buy anything. I literally tried to give you money and you said no. Fail Doritos. So we will move on. This is kind of going to go in a flow tonight. Okay. So I'm going to get into the sessions right now. There's a little bit of a flow to this. I want to get started with some big stuff, and then we're going to move down to really specific content creator things that you're going to want to know. The final topic, again, could be helpful to anybody. You don't have to be a content creator. You may just be a viewer, but the final topic I'm going to talk about is the session that I attended on burnout. It's a mental health session. It is a very critical session. I've talked about this, and for Blow, who's in here, this is, I've mentioned this to you, and I've mentioned this to a lot of beginning content creators. I have never seen the mental fatigue, burnout, and stress in any industry I've ever worked in that I have in content creation, especially streaming. There's such a low barrier to entry to become a streamer that people don't understand. In order to be successful at it, it takes significant work, and it's hard because you are in the public eye. Okay, so that's the last session. I'm going to talk about that, and then I'm also going to talk about some stuff that I've kind of explored in the last day or so regarding recommendations from Twitch and recommendations from the CEO himself, because he was on a Twitch broadcast last night, and he talked about a skill that he thinks more streamers need to have. So, yeah. Blowing smoke. I've heard that from so many streamers. Yeah, Chappie, it sucks and it's real. Rooster, protect yourself and your mental health. Exactly. Guys, it's a critical thing. That's one of the features that we instituted in the Rise Above team. So in Rise Above, we actually have a channel in our Discord for mental health resources. And I'm going to be adding to that tonight because I got a resource at TwitchCon and I had to check it out first. I want to make sure it was legit. And it does seem very, very helpful. And we're going to talk about that too. So let's start. The first session that I attended was called Product Executive Q&A. These are literally the people, and two of them have the word chief in their title. So they were very important people. But these were people that literally develop the product of Twitch. Not us, we are the content creators, but the things that we can use with our audience, for our audience, that our audience can interact with. These are the people that actually design it. And it was kind of a rundown of what is there, what do we have today and how do we use it? And then B, what's coming. So we talked about a bunch of that stuff. So the first thing, quick recap, September just ended. That's a big push where they try to get more people to become subscribers by offering discounts. This was one of the most successful Septembers they've had. It was very, very successful. And they're going for the very first time. They're going to do this year. They're going to do a special version of September in December. So it's going to be interesting there. They're going to do, and there's some new potential products coming along with it. So what they might do, instead of the usual hype train emotes that you all can then probably have earned, they're going to be launching holiday themed emotes. Holiday themed emotes for hype trains. So September is a great way to do that. And again, I do, and you guys know from me to you, I always tell you, I don't see a ton of value in Twitch subs because I think they're overpriced. Twitch takes 50% of them right off the top. Another 5% goes to fees. So if you give a creator your $4.99 sub, the creator sees approximately, depending on where they're at, like country-wise, they'll see approximately $2.35. So I'm not a huge fan of Twitch subscriptions. I do appreciate the fact that for you as viewers, they do give you features like a ton of emotes and you get ad-free viewing, and those are very valuable. So anyway, so there's going to be a September thing in December. Twitch is working on that when they're going to announce that. They're also, for creators, they are working on a new product where you will be able to create your own, or offer your own, I should say, offer your own emotes that you can create for your hype trains. There's pros and cons to this. There are some viewers who are all about getting, they want the Twitch hype train emotes. They want those things that are hard to earn. You've got to contribute for them. It's basically a pay to win. There are some viewers that love those things. There are other viewers who can't participate for financial reasons. So it's kind of a limited thing. But then the cool thing is, if you've got somebody that just wants to earn your hype train emotes, which I could see being really successful for really big streamers, like top 1% streamers, people are going to say, I earned a hype train badge from XQC or Amaranth or whatever. So pros and cons to it. I get it, and I think it's going to be a fun thing. Anything that allows a creator to customize what they can offer their viewers, I think that's a win. They're not always perfect, but I think that's a win. So I was glad to see Twitch going in that direction of saying, all right, we're going to create something we're going to offer something that the creators can give to their communities exclusively. I think that's cool. Yeah. So another thing that they're going to be testing, channel skins. Literally, now this could work two different ways. They were kind of vague about how it might get implemented, but it still applies. What they might do is they're going to offer advertisers the ability to skin your channel. So literally kind of like a sponsorship. That may be a thing. The other way they might implement this tool is that they're going to give you the ability to skin your own channel. You might be able to create like a background in your chat or something like that. They're really, really exploring this. They're trying to figure out what it would look like. I think it's going to be for the advertisers. I don't think we're going to be able to skin our own. And I say that just from the back end knowledge of what I know goes into something like that. But I think that the advertiser thing might do it. And it would be a cool way to integrate an advertiser, even an advertiser of your own, an advertiser into your channel without overtaking your particular stream, like literally the view of your video. So there's going to be that kind of cool stuff. What about Prime subs? What do the streamers make from those? It's basically the same thing. It's not a huge difference in price. Prime subs, and I'm not even sure Prime subs is going to be something that continues for very long because, again, Twitch doesn't make any money and Amazon might be tired of subsidizing so many things. We'll see. But it's not a huge difference because, again, the revenue split is 50-50 basically. The only way to get beyond that is the Partner Plus program, and that is very hard to earn. But again, the CEO went into that a little bit last night. So they're going to be testing channel skins. If you noticed, during TwitchCon, they announced stories. Creators can now post stories to the homepage, your homepage, especially on mobile, your homepage of Twitch. So just go to Twitch or open the Twitch app and you'll see the stories. What they're working on is expanding that very, very quickly. They already know that there's different things they can do with that kind of technology. So in addition to the stories, two different things. One, they're working on ways to make the stories more variable. So how do you add more features to the stories? How do you customize them? How do you decorate them? How do you put filters on them? All that kind of stuff. Then they're working on taking the same kind of idea, stories, and applying it to posting animated GIFs, posting text posts like YouTube has. You can post to your community, to your subscribers. Twitch is working on the same thing where you can post text message post to your community. They're also working on posting clips. Right now, you basically have to upload or whatever. They're working on doing more things with clips and highlights, really just customizing how those pieces of content get delivered. This is all part of, if you're a creator, you've probably heard some of this, but not a ton of it. This is all part of their efforts to improve discoverability. The one thing Twitch is really, really good at is broadcasting a live stream. And at one point, somebody in one of the panels, who was a Twitch employee, he said that Twitch is really good as a talking platform. Oh, in fact, Dan Clancy said it last night too. It is a talking platform. Whatever your form of entertainment is, whether you're a gamer, a just chatter, a underwater basket weaver, it doesn't really matter. You have to talk. You have to, stay engaged with the audience. What they're trying to figure out is, how do we help people find you? Because there's now like 8 million of you a month. So how do we help people get found on the platform without impacting each other? And like, there's a whole bevy of problems. So they're working on all these different ways to do it. And obviously they're just picking, it's like, oh, that's a cool thing YouTube does. Let's steal that one. Oh, it's a cool thing Instagram does. Let's steal that one. So they're doing those types of things, but Twitch is actively working on ways for creators to get found. If you are a viewer, they're trying to do this in a way that is a natural fit for you and will help you find creators that you might find relevant. They could just dump, here's 50 streamers you could watch. But they want it to be things that you might be interested in. They want it to be things that you're going to pay attention to and find relevant. So, I mean, there's a whole bunch of algorithm stuff, and we're going to be talking about that in a minute. What else? Oh, yeah. Okay. So speaking of algorithms, one of the other ways for discoverability to work is what they now call shelves. So you might have seen, I think it's only on desktop, but you might have seen recommended small communities. Okay. Or recommended FPS streamers, things like that. They're taking segments of content and they're putting up streamers in that are most relevant to you. It's not just the biggest people. In fact, in most cases, it's not the biggest people. They're trying to showcase small and medium-sized creators on those shelves that are going to be things that you might be interested based on all of your activity on Twitch while you're logged in. So it's really, really informative, and we're going to talk about why in a second. But you're going to find, hopefully, more things that you might create with, or that you might connect with for people that you don't watch or have never even heard of before. It'd be nice to see highlights from streams that might be relative to my likes. Exactly. That's exactly the kind of stuff they're working on, Rooster, is how do we take the highlight content, the sort of the best of the best, the cream of the stream? How do we take that? God, that sounds wrong. How do we take that and show that to people so that they don't have to watch a 6-hour VOD? Things like that. So all of these discoverability things are working, but all of it is built on different algorithms. And that's important to understand as well. The algorithm for the left, okay, so the algorithm for the left menu, if you're on whatever over there, the left menu of your Twitch screen on Discord, on desktop, that has its own algorithm of recommended channels. So you've got your followed channels at the top, and then below that, you should have a section for recommended channels. Those recommended channels, that left menu is one of the biggest drivers of traffic anywhere on Twitch. Mobile or desktop, doesn't matter. That section is one of the most trafficked sections because people say, oh, it's cool, it's recommended. I'm going to take a look at that. And I think you all have noticed, if you look on desktop, it's typically the categories that you watch or a related category. It's typically somebody who might be somehow connected to somebody you already follow, but that has an algorithm. All the shelves I just talked about, all those little, I think you get 2 right now, it might be 3, but you'll get recommended FPS or maybe recommended small communities or recommended friends, things like that. Each of those has their own algorithm. If you are a creator, pay attention to what I'm about to tell you. The stream tags you pick influence where and how you show up in those shelves, literally on somebody's homepage. The tags you pick for your stream literally influence the algorithm to put you on the homepage of Twitch. You get up to 10 of them. Use them. I tell streamers this all the time. Use the tags. They're literally built for a reason, and that reason is to tell the algorithm what to do. Now, couple of pieces of caution for this. Don't run off and start making, hashtag porn or whatever. Here we go. I knew classic. Oh, buddy. Oh, God. Okay. I should. Okay. That got clipped quick. Okay. Anyways, there are 10 tags. Use those 10 tags, but use them accurately. If you try to game the system, I'll give you 2 examples. If you try to game the system by putting in a popular tag, so something works, but has no real connection to your content or your community, the algorithm will learn very, very quickly. Doesn't apply. So here's a story from somebody I know. This is a real story that somebody told me. They are a content creator on a part-time basis. They put in a language tag, but they didn't think it was a language tag. They thought it was a cultural tag. So I'll change the scenario a little bit, but they put Spanish. Okay. Their tag was Spanish. Now they picked Spanish because their ancestry is Spanish. They are genetically from Spain. The problem is Spanish is also a language. So they had people showing up in their chat looking to speak Spanish. Guess what language they don't speak? Spanish. So there was like, you got to understand how people might use the tags, but you have 10 of them. So put them to good use. And you want to do a couple of things. All right. Here's a quick breakdown on tags. I went to a whole session on tags, but honestly, I was just sitting there like listening and talking to the panelists. But here's what I know. And here's what they talked about. Roughly, if you are a content creator, roughly put 5 for your content and 5 for your community. So for example, if you are you're a Call of Duty streamer, all right, you might do action, hard mode, FPS, you're going to want to do things that are about your game or your category, things like that. The other ones you choose might be things about you or your community. So let's say you are a content creator who's a person of color. You might put one of your tags is BIPOC. You might put Black. You might put Native. You might put Ally. You might put LGBTQIA+. You're going to describe yourself or your community. For the community, you might do things like veterans. Okay, so if you are a veteran, you might put veterans, because that's not only going to describe you, but that's also going to describe the community of people that you might want watching you. At this panel about the tagging, I made a point because 2 of the panelists were people of color, and they were very accurately describing why they included tags like Black or BIPOC or things like that. And I stood up and I asked a question, and I said, I completely understand why, for you as an underrepresented member of the minority, you would want to find viewers that are searching for that community. I get that. But let me tell you something. I don't want the person who's going to search white as a tag. I don't want them in my chat. That's a scary person, and I don't want to have that fight on a Wednesday night. So what would I do? And so, they were like, okay, we get that. We hadn't really thought about that. Like, they hadn't thought about the flip side of how tags could be inappropriately used or used with a negative consequence. So we had that whole thing. When it comes to the tags that you pick, like I said, roughly, it doesn't have to be exactly 5 and exactly 5, but roughly 50% of your tags should be about you and your content. About your content or your category. The other 5 should be about you and your community. So like I said, LGBTQIA+. That describes you, can also describe your community. For me, I'm not a member of the LGBT community, so I have hashtag Jesus Christ. I have tag, one of my tags is ally, because I do want the LGBTQ community to know my channel is a safe space. If anybody rolls into my channel and they decide that they're going to be homophobic or transphobic, they're going to get the really shitty end of that stick in about 5 seconds. So I want the people that show up to my community to know I am an ally for you. I will defend you and you are safe here. But that's not about me. That's the community. So keep that in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is that some of your tags probably aren't going to change real often. You're going to have some tags that are kind of permanent. So for example, some of my permanent tags were Rise Above, my content creation team. I've had long-term. I've also had backseat gaming allowed, because the games I'm playing, if you know more than I do, tell me about it. I don't care. I added a couple ones recently. I added sci-fi. Sorry, I added sci-fi because I don't care. Star Wars, Star Trek, Expanse, whatever. I don't care what you watch. If you're a sci-fi fan, you're probably going to enjoy the games that I play. I've had Ally forever. In fact, somebody in the PJ Party community was so nice enough to actually tell me, and this was a few months ago, but somebody in the community actually said that they found me through the ally tag and they knew it would be okay to show up. They knew that it was a place where they could have fun. So I thought that was pretty cool. But some of these tags, I haven't changed in months, but about, for me, it's about 4 to 6, depending on the game or the content. For about 4 to 6 of them, I will change those on a semi-frequent basis. They may last for a week, they may last for a month, but I'm going to rotate through because I want to try to reach new people. I want to show new content. I changed them up when we switched from Red Dead over to Starfield. I changed them up for obviously tonight because it's a just chatting night. I don't have all the game tags in there. Hi, Zeph. How you doing? Welcome in. Live long and prosper in the Kessel Run. Yeah, exactly. Quark. Very good, Chappie. I like that one. So, tags are really, really important because they do feed the algorithm for where you can appear on the homepage or where you might appear if somebody is searching for your kind of content or community. So keep those things in mind. If any content creator has questions about tags, this is something I've done a ton of research on. I've spoken to product developers. I've spoken to partners. I've spoken to security personnel at Twitch, the trust and safety team. I've really tried to learn as much as I can about this. So if anybody has questions, what tags should I use or what tags should I not use? I'm happy to give you my opinion. That's as far as I can take it. I can't give you any official words from Twitch other than what they have told me at this TwitchCon. So next things. Oh, so this is a big one. Okay. This is a big one. We all know Twitch has to pay bills, and so do the content creators. Monetization. How do people make money on Twitch? They were very, very adamant about making sure people understood this in this session that I went to. There is no element of the monetization process, bits, tips, subs, gifted subs, none of that is part of the algorithm. There is no part of the discoverability algorithms that are based on or influenced by the monetization of a channel. You could have monetization on, you could have monetization off, you could be, you could have 20% of your community giving you subs, you could have nobody giving you subs. Nothing about monetization influences the discoverability algorithms on Twitch. There is one exception to that rule. There is actually a shelf, a platform that will show on the homepage for channels that are getting a hype train. And the reason they do that is purely for the excitement. If it's a highlight for your channel, if it's one of those exciting moments, Twitch wants to show you so that that's the first thing people see. They want to see your channel doing well. They want to see your channel having fun. And they know that that's a great moment to push you to the front. Nothing else. There's nothing about the monetization of your channel that influences the algorithm. That's a big news drop. So, Chappie, I'm still learning how to search them. I've been ending up in some weird sites of Twitch. Nice. Hey, it's Letard. What's up, Letard? Welcome in. I hope the rest of your Star Citizen helmet hunting went well. We are currently doing a overview of TwitchCon. We are talking about all the different things that I learned at TwitchCon 2023. We just finished talking about tags and how they're important and what you want to choose and all of those things. The other thing that we were talking about is monetization. You are a content creator, so I will share this with you because it is vital that everybody understands this. There is nothing in the monetization of your channel, bits, subs, gifted subs, prime subs, nothing about that influences the algorithms for discoverability. So don't ever feel like that you have to be making more money or you have to be doing something to incentivize payments and support from your community. That does not improve your ability to get found on the Twitch homepage. It does not influence how you get how you get recommended by Twitch. So keep that in mind as a content creator. So that PJ Landing, yes. Let's see. So what else do we got here? Oh, the other thing that is very educational to the algorithm is what Letire just did, and that's raids. Congratulations. Raids are hugely helpful for the algorithm. Here's why. What they do is they will actually show you, or they show the algorithm what kind of communities might blend together. It teaches the algorithm what content creators might know each other. It teaches the algorithm what their communities are enjoying. But raids teach the algorithms a lot at Twitch. So raids are very, very helpful. If you are a content creator and you're okay with raiding, I'm not saying you have to be, but I will say when you raid, it teaches Twitch a lot about your channel, your community, and the channel you land on and the community you land in. I will have a huge, huge announcement towards the end of this stream about raids. This is what I tell you later is what no one knows. It is a huge urban myth, and it got dispelled at Twitch twice. I know it for a fact now, and they're not lying about it. This was a big deal. Stay tuned for that one. Product sales. So we were talking about money earlier and things that they're looking at for the streams, like, they might do skins and things like that on channels. One of the things that Twitch is not looking at, they don't care about it right now, they don't see it working, not a big deal, is direct product sales. Right now on, for example, Instagram, you can set up a shop. You can sell things directly off Instagram. On YouTube, there is a YouTube shop. You can sell things directly on Instagram. By the way, if you're here, please go follow me on YouTube. Please, 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 please. I'm trying to get to 500 so I can sell you things on YouTube. I'm trying to do what Twitch is saying they're not going to do. So it's definitely a big deal. But Twitch is not considering that at all. They've tried it a couple of times in the past. One of them was, what the hell did they call it? You guys might remember. It was something... hold on, I had notes on this. I forgot to write that one down. It was, bounty board. Yeah, the bounty board thing didn't work either. But anyways, so Twitch tried to figure out a way to do this. It's just not what they care about. So there are no plans at Twitch currently to build a direct product sale mechanism through your channel. You got to look other places to do it. Twitch isn't interested. Also, the monetization tools that don't influence the algorithm, what they do is they are designed to make your community more appealing. They are designed to drive traffic to your community by making it interesting, not through the algorithm, but through the hype that occurs, not hype trains, but just through the energy, the excitement, the fun that occurs in the channel. That is one of their metrics. When they're designing products, they're literally thinking about, how does this make the channel more interesting? How does this make the community more interactive? They're trying to do it with your experience in mind as a viewer, and then also what the benefit might be to the content creator who is enabling that to happen. So they are working on things for monetization tools. Again, just looking at ways to drive traffic by making your community more interesting in that moment. That's one of their big deals. But you guys might know this. Some of you have seen it, some of you have not. For channels that have a lot of gifted subs, you may notice as a content creator that some of those gifted subs go to people who are not in the chat. They may go to people who are not followers of your community. The reason for that is because Twitch says, instead of giving it just to people in your community, we want to incentivize people to show up. So that's why gifted subs occasionally go to people outside your follower list, is because Twitch is saying, we think they're going to be interested in your content. We think that, for example, in my case, if somebody was gifting a sub and Twitch sent it to some person who's not even a follower of my community, they might be a follower of somebody who has rated me. They might be a follower of somebody who streams the same game as I do. Oh, hi, Ruf. By the way, hi, Rufus. I didn't see you drop in here. My bad. I'm trying to catch up. I have chat over here and I have chat over here. So I never know which one I'm looking at. So there's that. So again, they're trying to do things that can bring people in without influencing the algorithm, because they never want their algorithms to be pay to win. So they try to build things that make your community more exciting, new ways of getting people in. And that's why monetization occasionally, like gifted subs, will show up for people that are not followers of your channel. It's another way that Twitch says, maybe check them out. You just got a $5 gift. Maybe go check them out. Cool thing. Let's see. Oh, this was a big one. Myself and a lot of others, we asked this question in this particular session because, again, we had the chief marketing officer, or the chief product officer, and then also the head of development. This is an 18 and over channel. I have an 18 and over community. I am not interested in risking my career because some, 12-year-old decided that they were going to come listen to me swear all night. So a lot of us asked, what is going to be done about blocking accounts that for people that we know are under 18? You have a birthday for them. Can we block them from the channel? Twitch said no. How you doing, Attack Cat? Welcome in. Hi, Caffeine. So, keep that in mind. If you run an 18 and over community, Twitch is not exploring ways to block minor accounts from viewing your content. They have added the warnings. So you now have the content labels. They've supported that new system by making it a punishable thing if you're not using them correctly. So there's one thing where if you play an 18 and over game, if you play like a rated M game, you automatically, because you've categorized that as part of your content, you're automatically getting a tag. But if, for example, like if you're a stoner and you talk about weed a lot on your channel, but you play, I don't know, Stardew Valley, no, you play Disney Dreamlight Valley, okay? Twitch is telling you, not telling you, they're not recommending, they are telling you, you need to put a warning on your content. If you don't, we're going to do it for you. They will monitor your content through the algorithms, like AI algorithms. And they're like, look, we're hearing the word weed, stoner, pot, grass, marijuana. We're hearing this a lot in the system. You haven't been labeling your content correctly. We're going to send you a warning. Oh, you decided to ignore the warning? That's cute. We're now attaching the label to you the way it should be. If you try to evade that by, let's say you're playing, well, let's go back to the original example. Let's say you are playing Call of Duty, but you stream in just chatting. They'll nail you for that one too. And it can lead to the suspension of your account. They're not messing around with it, but there are a bunch of reasons that I don't fully buy into. They're not going to block 18 and under accounts. They're just not going to do it. They have no plan to do it. So, and we asked them, we're like, is this something you can do in the future? And they said, no, we're not doing it. So it sucks. The robots know. Yes, the robots know. So that was the entire product Q&A. I was probably there for an hour and a half talking to these people because, again, I want to give you guys information. I want to make sure that we understand what we're doing as content creators, and we want to make sure that we're doing what's right for the viewers, especially if you're a viewer here. We want to make sure that you're getting the right experience from our channels, from our communities, and from Twitch at large. So that was the product executive Q&A session. There's that. First big reveal of the night. There is no monetization data or action that is tied to the recommended algorithm. Okay. Next, the next session that I went to was called Grow Your Revenue. Welcome to session number 1 that I walked out of. This was the biggest fucking waste of my time, other than the other session I walked out of, which was a lie. It's just flat. The title was completely misleading, but this thing called Growing Your Revenue, I walked out. I was 10 minutes into it and I was like, this is a fucking hangout session. This was just a bunch of partners, people just chatting and like sharing funny stories and making jokes. And I was like, I'm done. I'm checking out. So I walked out and I went to do more useful things. So leveling up your content. I went to a session called Leveling Up. This was, how do you take your content to the next level? Especially if you're a new streamer, how do you go from, okay, I barely understand what a bit is, and now I need to understand what a bit rate is. Why isn't the bits cheering fixing my bit rate? It's literally that level of how do you go to level 2? How do you take your stuff up to where it needs to be so that you can continue to grow? Okay, this was a really cool session that had some cool stuff. Now, this was the first session, I will tell you. This was the first session where a theme, there was 2 big themes for the weekend, and this was one of them. There was a theme that I heard at 3 separate sessions in one weekend. Audio is key. Your video can be a little bit pixelated. Your game can crash. Hello, Star Citizen. Your game can crash. Your lighting could be a little funky. Okay. All of the visuals, you're technically, traditionally, usually an audience is going to be a little forgiving on that. If your audio sounds like crap, they're gone. This was one of the biggest mistakes that I made, and I still struggle with audio. Last night, oh my God, last night was so much fun. If you guys watched the Dan Clancy Harris Heller interview last night, one dude is the king of streaming tech. The other dude is the CEO of Twitch. They had audio problems for a half hour. It was unbelievable to watch, but still, it kind of made me feel so warm and wholesome. It was like, oh, you get it too. like Harris Heller switched mics at one point. Dan Clancy, I don't know what, Dan Clancy needs help. He needs some serious tech help because his setup was garbage. but it's something that we all struggle with typically as content creators because things can change, your apps can change, your hardware might get bumped or whatever. Tons of problems. Audio is key. If you're going to focus on something as a new streamer or as a day 1000 streamer, focus on your audio and make sure that that's the way you want it to be. A great way to do that is listening back to your VODs. What you hear in your headset may not be what your audience is hearing. I try to do this on a regular basis. I'll go back and I'll listen to a VOD. I'll be like, wow, my audio was kind of weird there. And I'll try to figure it out. I'm in the process of actually upgrading my audio right now. I have a new software that's literally right there that I'm going to be messing with hopefully over the weekend. We'll see what happens. So the 3-minute shush is probably not ideal. No, 3 minutes, great, buddy. Yeah, exactly. The lack of audio is perfect on this channel. Nobody wants to hear me. So all of those things are happening in terms of audio, but all of them, like there's nobody that disagreed with this in any panel I went to. Everybody was like, yeah, your audio's got to be on point. And I want you to think about this. I ran a poll. Some of you might remember this was about 2 months ago, I think. I ran a poll and I said, when you're watching my stream, am I your second screen? For those who don't know, a second screen is you are playing a game and there's a stream in the background. The stream is the background. The background is the second screen. You have a main screen. Maybe you're watching TV. Stream is on to your side. Maybe you're lurking it with no audio, whatever. Second screen. I asked for that. 2/3 of you told me my streams that I watch are usually a second screen. I'm doing something. I'm doing household chores. I'm working on homework. I'm building a Lego set. I'm editing pictures or whatever. That's pretty common. I was blown away by that number, but then I started talking to partners and Twitch staff and I was like, is this a normal thing? They're like, oh yeah, a lot of streams are second screen. So the audio is crisp because they're probably not like watching you for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. So keep that in mind. Your audio has to be something that is a high enough quality that it's not going to turn people away. Make sure you focus on your audio. It's not something you need a $900 mic for. Okay. I have heard this at every TwitchCon. I've heard this from every partner. You don't need to throw money at a problem. Typically, your $100 mic is going to do the same as your $1,000 mic, but your $1,000 mic is going to require more buttons to get pushed. Just sort out the issues. Don't think it's going to cost you more money. You can start as a streamer for under $500. It's a doable thing, I promise. Okay. It's not something you got to keep throwing money at. It is something you have to keep throwing energy at. You got to throw time. You got to put that creativity into it so that you get what you want. I'm literally folding laundry now and have you as my secondary attention. That's what I'm talking about. Attack Cat is eating nuggies. Please share. Thank you very much. So audio is key, then video. Okay. Next. For each type of content you create, most content creators do not just play one game. I used to, kind of, sort of. You don't just play one game or just create one type of content. I have Star Citizen. I've got Starfield. I have sub-streams, private sub-streams. I've got just chatting streams. I've got YouTube podcasts. I've got audio podcasts. I've got IRL streams for Diamond Discord subs. The recommendation is this. Create the scene for your type of content in the moment. So obviously this is not the same background that you're looking at now. This is not the same setup that I have for Starfield or Star Citizen. This was built specifically for just chatting screens. Do that. There was one guy that was on this panel. He had over 100 different scenes. By the way, if you're a viewer and you're not a content creator, a scene is literally a thing we can build on our computers. It has pre-programmed all the layers and all the audio sources and all the game sources. It like contains the stream. A scene can contain that. There's one guy, he had over 100 different scenes in his OBS software because he could switch between them even mid-game. Like he would literally have 10 different scene setups just to play Valorant. One of them was, you'd have a camera to the left. Another scene might have 2 cameras off to the right, plus something that was showing footwork or it would change lighting effect. Like he had all this crazy stuff. And there was a guy, he was a partner. He had over 10,000 followers. He'd been a partner for 6 years. Like it was a big streamer. And he was just like, dude, I think I've got 9 and you have over 100. Like you can get that level of creative. And typically if you do, your audience is going to appreciate that because they're going to see dynamic presentations. I'm not that cool yet. Sorry, y'all, you're here. So yeah, overlays, things like that. It's got the overlays, it's got the audio sources, it's got video sources, it's got image sources, it's got animation sources. It's got browser sources. Like if I'm going to bring up a web browser, it's got that. So a scene contains all of that stuff. Rooster said, dude, 100% I will click off so fast if the audio is garbage. That was my biggest struggle. I was like, look, I look like shit anyway, so I'm not going to worry about the video because I'm just playing a game and you're going to watch the game and the game's more entertaining than I am. I quickly realized that my audio was so bad that I had to spend more time on it. And I didn't realize it until I was listening to my own VODs. I had to go back. So keep that in mind, but definitely have dynamic scenes, things you can change up, things you can have fun with, things you can be flexible with. Do that for each type of content you create. Do not have the same overlays for every game you play. Do not have the same overlays for every Just Chatting stream you do. Do not have the same overlays for everything you stream on Twitch. Your audience will be bored and it's going to look either too stripped down. It's going to look like a thing. It's like, there's not really anything there. Or on the flip side of it, I had a buddy of mine that, oh God, his stream, I swear I was going to have an epileptic seizure because of it. He had overlays literally on probably 40% of his screen. There was graphics, there was hashtags, there was dragons you could feed, there was sponsor logos, not really sponsors, they were just affiliate links. Like they had just tons of crap on it. It was like, dude, I can't even see the game you're playing. Could be Animal Crossings, could be Fortnite, can't tell. I mean, like, don't overdo it with the psychosis. You got to remember, people are there to see you and be entertained by the content you're creating. Nobody, not a single viewer you've ever had is there for your overlays. The overlays are meant to basically give some form of information on a regular basis or some type of, like an encouragement. Like you might have, like I do at the bottom, like recent raids, top cheers. The idea behind that is like Letired is right now on the bottom left. I want to encourage people to raid the channel. I want to give you recognition. If you shared your community here, like Letired just did, I want your name on the screen. I want people to see, yeah, look at this guy. Cool guy, had 11 viewers, and he took those 11 viewers and brought them here. He could have sent them anywhere. Letired brought him here. Thank you, Letired. Like, that's the idea. I'm encouraging that. Top cheers. Again, the only one that's scrolling for some reason. I don't know why that's the case. So we got top cheers there. We've got recent followers. I want to recognize people for the interactions they're having with the community, but that takes up less than 5% of the screen. I'm not trying to overdo it with that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. Next thing, I'm going to move on. Next thing, if you are a content creator, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, if you have an idea for your channel or your community, write it down. If you don't write it down somewhere, put it in your phone, sketch it on your hand. I don't care. Put it somewhere that you can remember to look at it later and act upon it. Otherwise, you're going to forget. The next great idea for your community was forgotten because you were sitting on the toilet and you didn't type it into the phone that you know you had in your hand anyway. Don't deny it. Do something with it because you don't want to lose that inspiration. You don't want to lose that clever. You don't want to lose that idea. Make sure you write down your ideas. When that was said by a partner. They're like, so what other idea, what other tips would you have? What other tips would you have for streamers today? And somebody was like, write down your ideas. The whole panel was like, bro, yes. Like everybody got excited about that because you could tell they'd all had that moment where they forgot. They all had that moment where like, dude, I had this cool thing and I forgot it for 6 months, and they wish they had done it because it would have, well, if they did it later, they knew it worked. So keep that in mind. Oh, Chappie, I felt so attacked when that was said. I was like, yeah. So I actually I will show you. No, what I'm not going to show you. In my phone, I now have a section in notes for channel ideas. So let's see. What was the last one I put in there? Hold on. There it is. Oh, yes. So the last idea I had, I'm going to be adding bit alerts to the channel. Shh, you didn't hear that from me. I'm going to be adding bit alerts depending on how many bits get cheered. But there's going to be special sounds that will trigger based on the number of bits that are cheered. So I wrote that down and now I won't forget. Lucky me. Has anybody done an upgraded? No. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not missing our future sponsors. I hope Liquid Death. I'm waiting, guys. I'm waiting. Okay. Anyways, next one. I just talked about this. Don't throw money at a streaming problem. Every partner I talked to, they all said that. They're like, you don't need to do it. At last year's TwitchCon, when I was at the VTuber panel, all of the VTubers that were on the panel, they were all partners. They all said, you can be a VTuber without going broke. So don't ever think that there's some sort of major expense you have to do. Thanks. Okay. Hayden's like, hey, I got an idea. Let's do an upgrade hydrate. Ladies and gentlemen, this upgraded hydrate is eventually going to be brought to us by Liquid Death. Murder your thirst with a death to plastic. Hold on. I hope you heard that. That was good. All right. It's so bubbly. Oh, I really do. That's good water. I like that. Anyways. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So I did have a special note in here. I was talking about overlays earlier. 3 different sessions I was at, they all said that overlays and alerts. Also think about your alerts. It's not just your overlays. Your overlays are the visual. The alerts can be visual and audio. They can be very, very disruptive. So you've really got to consider what the vibe of your channel is, what the vibe of your community is. I mean, if it is kind of that zoo, I mean, truly chaotic, like we can all make jokes like, oh my God, we don't know what's happening. If your channel is truly just a bucket fuck of chaos, that needs to be something that, great, maybe you do have a ton of ways for people to interrupt your content. But if you're typically like, if you're doing a game playthrough or something like that, your chat wants to see you get through the damn game. Don't go nuts with the overlays. Don't go nuts with the alerts. Don't go nuts with the sound. Put in some timers in there or some cooldown timers. Don't make them take over the entire screen unless, it's something that deserves it. Like you could build a special alert for 10,000 bits being cheered. Great. Maybe take over the channel for 10 seconds, like that kind of deserves it. That's my opinion. It's not Twitch's. But that kind of thing. So it can not only distract the chat, it can also distract you from whatever you're doing in game. And again, you want to keep a flow to your community, not constant chaos, ADHD interaction. You got to be able to find a happy medium and do what is best for your community. That's going to be more helpful to your growth. Okay. Garden Crane, what's up, man? Volume and alert. Yeah. And we've had that here in this channel. We've had volume issues where there was one alert, you guys might remember more than I do. There was one alert that was so fucking loud. Like every time we heard it, we were just like, oh my God. And I had to figure out where the noise problem was because it wasn't the volume of the file. It was the actual file itself. It was just pegged out. It was blown out. So we had to sort that out. I've always enjoyed what Piss Poor Pete does as a VTuber. If I do streaming, I think I'd like to go in that direction. And that's the thing. A VTuber is going to have a different visual optic kind of setup than an IRL streamer. Somebody who does gaming is going to have a different visual setup than somebody who is just chatting or doing literal IRL stream. Like, they're out in the world. So find those things that are going to be more... That's not balanced. Okay. Now my AD. Okay, fun times. So... like I said, don't think that the number of overlays you have is what's driving traffic there, because it's not. Nobody is showing up for your overlays. They are showing up for you and the content you're creating. Don't lose sight of the quality that you make. All right. Next thing this was a session called Stream Like a Boss. This was session number 2 or 3. I don't know, but this was another one where they immediately started off with what's a key thing for creators to know today? Audio is king. They were real big on the audio thing. So make sure that Again, focus on your audio, make sure it works, make sure you're listening to yourself after a stream. It doesn't have to be every stream, might help, but at least once a week, listen to a VOD, listen to different parts of the VOD, bounce around a little bit. Don't just listen to the beginning, listen to the end where you're a little more tired, listen to a different category where you've changed, if you've changed categories midstream, listen to different part, do all those kinds of things. So we were talking about audio. We're talking about overlays. We're talking about alerts. That is vital on Twitch. I want you to think about something as a content creator. On Twitch, what separates you from a YouTube video? You're live. You have the ability to interact with people in real time. They can't do that if they're watching a VOD on YouTube. They can't do that if they're watching a short. When you're live, they can type. They can say hi to you. They can trigger sounds. They can give you money. They can do all these amazing things. They can't do that on a pre-recorded video. So how are you capitalizing on it? How is that something that you are using to say, this is the reason that you're watching me on Twitch? Because if you're just going to sit there and be quiet with no alerts, if you're going to sit there and have no overlays or crappy overlays or overlays that aren't really engaging, if you're going to have all of those things, they could just watch a YouTube VOD. You could spare your mental health by simply recording this shit and putting it on YouTube. Just saying. Utilize the ability that live entertainment gives you on Twitch and do so by building those features out. Okay? So you got to remember that finding ways to interact is critical, but again, don't overdo it. One of the things that I do on this channel, a lot of you have been a part of it, is we do character creation together. I get chat involved in that. I want the PJ party to be part of the process where we are creating a fascinating looking character. Hi, Nicole. A fascinating character together. And we are building out these things and we're doing it with a lot of fun. And it does interrupt the flow, but then it becomes the flow. That is the chat. It took us an hour and 10 minutes to build Nicole. Cool. That was the vibe for that hour and 10 minutes. And then we went into gameplay and I had to be more focused on whatever the hell I was going to fail at doing in Starfield. But during the character creation part, it was just fun. So think about ways that you can get your community involved without taking away from the content of your show. You are putting on a show. You are a host for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll get into that in a minute too. The best Nicole. Yeah, it's the best Nicole ever. So build those things out. Don't let them distract. The next thing was if you are a professional content creator and you are looking to earn money, I heard this at 2 different panels from 4 different partners and a Twitch employee, Twitch staff member. They all said the following: consistency is key. Now, I want to define that a little bit. If you are especially on Twitch, if you are a Twitch creator and your goal is to just have people watch you play games, or maybe you meet new people or whatever, but it's just a social thing, okay, you don't have to be as consistent maybe. But if you're trying to grow a community and you want to bring in more viewers and more people that your existing community can interact with and grow that out, you have to be consistent. There is no exception to this. This is the rule. It doesn't always have to be the same category. It doesn't always have to be the same day. It doesn't always have to be the same time. But 1 or 2 of those things do have to be the same. You can't, if you are trying to do this professionally, you cannot just play what you want when you want. Your audience has no idea where you are or what you're doing from one day to the next. They can't become part of a community if the community never sits still and grows. It has to have a home base at some point. It has to have a consistent theme. It has to have a vibe that is there. You got to pick a schedule. You got to pick a category. Now, it could be maybe you move the days of the week around. Remember, I gave you 3 things: categories, days, and times. So maybe the times are the same. Maybe you're always a 6 p.m. streamer. but maybe you never know what day it's going to be because of a weird work schedule. So maybe it's like, guys, you can always find me at 6:00 at night. We're just going to pick the next days for next week, next time. Okay, fine. But at least they know, cool, you're a nighttime streamer. That fits in with my schedule as a viewer. So I'm going to be there. And if whether it's a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Thursday or Friday, great. At least I know it's nighttime. On the flip side, maybe it's, I'm never really sure what time it is because I get off work at weird hours, but you will always find me streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe that's your vibe. So I could start at 5 because I got off work early. I could start at 8 because I had a class to take. I could start at 9 because I had to take a kid to a softball game or something. All of those things. But at least they know Tuesday is the day. Monday is the day. Friday is the day. It builds a little bit of consistency. The other thing is, if you're constantly changing categories, you will lose viewers and you're going to get people who follow you and never return. That's one of the hardest things to occur, is that one day you're playing Animal Crossing, the next night you're playing Fortnite, the next night you're playing Starfield, the next night you're playing Magic the Gathering. It's like, I don't even know where the hell your brain's at. I don't give a shit where your calendar's at. I don't care where your clock is at. I don't know where your brain's at. What the hell are you playing tonight? I don't care about half of these games. Why am I watching you? It's a problem. That kind of stuff, like the character creation, it really brings me in as a viewer. It makes me invested in the play. Right, because I want you to be invested in it. So I don't want to go back on topics, but is there a good rule of thumb for how much consistency is important? Yes, caffeine. I'm going to be talking about kind of like schedule building and things like that, and what the partners shared. And then I'll share my experience and also some of the things that I've heard from others that weren't at TwitchCon. So I will be talking about that in a minute. Rooster said, I think if you're going to constantly change up the gameplay and make it one day a week right, exactly. There's a consistency to that. You have to build in consistency to your community. The type of consistency or what the consistency applies to might be different from channel to channel, from community to community, but you have to be consistent about some things. The channel and the community, they have to know what to expect. You have to set an expectation for them. If the expectation is chaos, their expectation is not showing up again. Because that's not what people are looking for. People have certain interests in certain games. For example, there's a couple people that I follow, and I do it because I'm trying to support them as a creator. I'm trying to support what they're doing. I'm trying to support their new ideas. But they play things like Genshin Impact. I can't understate how much I don't care about Genshin Impact. It's like, I'm sorry. I love that you're good at it. I love that you enjoy it and you are fun to watch. But for me watching that game, you've got about 6 minutes of my time, and then I'm going to go find something else to do. You're fun. Game is boring to me. I'm out. Like you gotta be consistent and set the expectations of the audience, and that's what can be consistent. So again, like Rooster said, one of the things you could do is, Fun Friday, and you always change games, and maybe sometimes you let the chat pick the game. Maybe in your Discord you hold a poll the week before and you say, guys, this Friday is going to be a fun Friday. Here's 4 choices. What game would you like me to play? Or do it on X, or do it on Instagram, as a story or something, whatever. Maybe you get them involved that way, but you got to be consistent for the rest of the week. Maybe it's the day, maybe it's the time, maybe it's both, maybe it's the game, but there has to be a level of consistency. Otherwise your audience doesn't know who you are from day to day. And that's too much for an audience. They're not looking for that kind of just instability. All right. So next thing. Oh yes, this was a great one. This was a quote that I wrote down, and I have this word for word from a Twitch partner. Very successful, over 50,000 followers. They make good money. I know about their background, but they said this: good production value requires production. You need to actually produce content. I know a lot of streamers who get frustrated or exhausted, or they're kind of just stuck with the, I don't know what I'm going to do, so I'm going to do nothing. And they just don't stream. They're like, guys, I don't want to. I'm not going to stream today. Okay. It doesn't help. I'm not talking about burnout. I'm legit not talking about burnout. If it is a mental health problem, that's a different thing. I'm talking about the people who think my quality is not good enough, so I'm not going to show anybody. Don't do that. Flat out, don't do that. You can't improve production quality without producing. In order to have production value, you have to have a product. That is only going to happen when you publish. You can build anything you want in the background. You can build the greatest overlays. You can put the coolest intro film together. You can do a great trailer. You can do all this shit. If you don't publish it, no one cares. But that also means you can't make it better. You're not going to get feedback. You're not going to see how it worked. You're not going to see if it brought in people or if they left. All of these things are educational, but my God, good production value requires production. You need to actually produce content. Do that. Do that for you. Do that for the community. And as anybody in the PJ Party community knows, I put out tons of shit that just fails. It's like, hey, I'm going to try this. Oh, that didn't work. You guys seem to enjoy it. So if laughing at me gives me education, it's like, okay, cool. They thought that was entertaining, but stupid. I need to make something that's entertaining and smart. Like you can learn from all of these moments, but you have to at least have the courage to put it out into the world. Do that for yourself so that you can get better. You're never going to get drafted into the NBA if you never set foot on a basketball court. You're going to fall down. The ball's going to hit you in the face. You're going to have somebody block you on they're going to put you on your ass. But you're never going to learn if you don't set foot on that basketball court. You can't get drafted until you do it. Couple of very specific recommendations that came out of this. No different with, exactly, Rooster, no different than any other forms of creation. Go watch some videos about photography. All the great photographers took thousands upon thousands of photos before they gain a following and traction in the industry. Absolutely true. You've got to get known out there, but you can't get known if you don't put out content. One technical recommendation, get a LUT filter for your camera, for your webcam. Get a LUT filter for it so that it cleans up the image. Until TwitchCon, actually, no, I have to give credit to somebody. The first time I had ever heard that phrase, that tool, was actually from Mr. Jinxie. My buddy Mr. Jinxie said that about something. I don't remember what. He was like, yeah, LUT filter. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck that is. What? Okay. So I'm hearing it. I'm going to go learn about it, and it will make this better because this is not the business right now. So get a LUT filter. It will improve the quality of your camera. I don't know how, but everybody said it was good, so I'm going to do that. The next thing was one of the specific bots that got mentioned, one of the specific chat bots that got mentioned was Firebot. Firebot was recommended because it does take a little bit of the processing off of the internet. It's going to take some of the lag away. It's more reliable, all of those things. So if you're a content creator on Twitch and you're looking for a good chat bot, you may want to take a look at Firebot. People also recommended... I want to say Nightbot. I think it was Nightbot or Wisebot. They're all kind of a thing. Hey, Jeb. I'm really curious what that overlay is. Pretty sure I didn't build that. The raid thing down at the bottom. I don't think I built that. I don't know where that came from. That's unique. Hi, Ghost of Jeb. How are you? Hope you're doing well, sir. So yes, LUT. L-U-T. Yes. I'm glad you spelled it Latired because I've never seen it written down, so that's how I wrote it. So yeah, go for a LUT filter. Chatbots, take a look at Firebot that was specifically mentioned. And it wasn't like, the best thing is Firebot. It was just like, oh, I use Firebot and I really like it. It was one of those kind of referrals. And then a third one for equipment was Elgato. The Elgato suite of products, two things will happen. Okay, so two things are going to happen with your Elgato suite. One, you're going to get a great product. Two, you're going to need to take out a home loan because Elgato ain't cheap. They talked about this again. Everything came up again last night in an interview with Dan Clancy and Harris Heller. Dan Clancy's entire suite, I think except for his headphones, and he had a mixer because he's a musician. He had a mixer off to the left. I think it was a Sony. But like his mic was Elgato, his lights were Elgato. Like it was pimped out by Elgato and not sponsored by Elgato. I don't know how that happened, but whatever it was. LUT filter, look up table filter. It's a color. Oh, I need it because my only color is white. My color is pale. That should be a Crayola color. So anyways, but Elgato does make good equipment. It isn't cheap, but they do make good equipment. And I was actually looking at potentially getting the big Stream Deck, whatever they call it. It's not the Plus. It's not the one with the knobs. It's the 32 key fucking thing, whatever. But it's like $280. And I'm like, dude, they're buttons. Fuck. Okay, anyways. So, but I just wanted to share that with you guys. Those are two things that got mentioned. People enjoyed using them. I have one Elgato product. I have a Stream Deck. It's down there. I have that, but yeah, Elgato is a good product. There are others. You can certainly do other things, but Elgato was mentioned. Next session I went to. Let's move on. This was an interesting one. Can I get a show of emojis? Can I get a show of something in chat if you are interested in becoming a Twitch partner? I want to see that. The next session that I went to was literally called Path to Partner. It was partners and it was Twitch staff, and they were talking about how to get to partner. Latired would one day like to be a Twitch partner. Anybody else? I'm going to reveal something about partner and Papa Juggernaut tonight. Okay, it's just Latired. Okay, so Latired's the only one. Everybody else is like, nah, affiliate's good. So the people that were on this panel, unfortunately, I missed. Caffeine's like, caffeine, I'm going to address that in a minute. So the panel had a few people on it. The two main people that were on this panel were Jeb. I'm going to answer that curiosity in a minute. The first was a guy named Kawaii Guy. So Kawaii Guy is not only a Twitch partner, he has been a content creator in different ways for his entire career of 20 plus years. He used to work in radio. He used to work in broadcasting. He used to work in production. He used to work. Now he's a content creator, but it's Kawaii Guy. So Kawaii Guy is not only a Twitch partner, but Kawaii Guy is also on Twitch staff. Kawaii Guy is also the one who handles ambassador program applications. So if you want to be a Twitch ambassador, he reads the app. So good guy to talk to. I spoke to him many times during TwitchCon because I had a billion questions and he always seemed to have the answer. The other main panelist was, I think it was Anish. Yes, it was Anish. So Anish handles the partner applications. If you apply to be a Twitch partner, he will read it. He was a good person to listen to also. So I spoke to both of them. Quick note, you may have saw in the media, you may have seen this on social media, Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, applied to be a partner and got rejected. The CEO of Twitch did not qualify to be a partner. Now, the fun part was he met the technical requirements. He had the 75 viewers or whatever, but his official declined email only gave him one vague answer, and it was, we need to see this a little more consistently. You kind of need to show us that you can do this content more often, then maybe we'll consider you for partner. So, hey, Mr. Jinxie, how are you? Pricey, but it's just too good. Yeah, exactly. No, Rooster, I don't think there is anything under $150. I might have some cool stuff for you though, because hold on, I'm breaking things. Is that the one? No. Oh wait, is this the one that's ended? Oh, okay, wait, what's today? Oh shit. What time zone? My time zone? Okay. If you guys want this, if anybody is looking at Corsair equipment, guys, I apologize. I did not know that this was literally expiring in 3.5 hours. If you are looking at Corsair stuff, Corsair is a part of Elgato, or Elgato's part of, I forget. That code right there will save you it's US-TwitchCon 2023, or 23, sorry, US-TwitchCon 23. This will get you 15% off all of these things at Corsair. Gaming keyboards, gaming headsets, gaming mice, mouse pads, ambient lighting, accessories, and apparel. Where the fuck did it go? US-TwitchCon 23. Do that and you will find yourself 15% cheaper in the stuff. Corsair owns them. Yeah, that's it. I knew it was the other way around. It was something didn't sound right. So anyways, so those were the two people. Yes, Dan Clancy got rejected. Anish addressed that because it happened hours before the session. What happened was Dan Clancy, as he said, he did not tell the partner team he was applying. So they treated it like a regular app. They were like, oh, well, we got stats. We got da-da-da-da. Nope, doesn't qualify. Boom, he gets rejected. Okay. So that was an interesting thing. Couple of things that they recommended. I'm going to run through these because I know we're kind of running low. We're already over an hour on this, and you guys don't want to listen to me talk for 3 hours. First of all, switching categories midstream, that's okay. This is kind of a misconception. Some people are hesitant to do it. Some people are not. There is no penalty. There's no negative to, like if you're trying to become a partner or even an affiliate, if you switch categories midstream, that's okay. That's actually, in some cases, they recommended it because it can help kind of show your audience new content. They said that it can bring in new audiences to your community. They were cool with it. The one thing that they recommended, they're like, look, you're trying to get to a very difficult number of 75 average viewers. If you're going to switch content midstream, have something that bridges these together. Have some sort of a connection that puts category 1 with category 2. Again, I'll go back to my example. If you're going to go from Animal Crossings to Fortnite, figure something out that is going to bring your community with you. Otherwise, they're just going to be like, no, bye, and they're out. So don't do that stuff. Wait, what? Nice audio? Yeah, what the I don't know what we're talking about. I save up to get the quality stuff, which isn't always the most expensive, but it is usually up there. Again, don't throw money at a problem. You don't have to have perfect equipment or the most expensive equipment. You do need to have equipment that you can use. It has to be usable and be okay. But anyways, so if you are going to switch categories, it's fine to do. It doesn't hurt the numbers. It's not like they're going to look at you and be like, wow, you're switching content a lot. No. It's fine. You just got to make sure for the sake of your numbers, for the sake of the community staying with you, have something that bridges that. Okay. So and that doesn't mean that you have to have like in my case, like you don't have to go from Starfield to Star Citizen and be like, oh, I'm playing space games still. Like maybe you're going from pirating. Maybe you're going from PvP in Star Citizen to Apex. You know, maybe it's something where it's like, hey, we're going to keep the combat vibe. We're going to keep the action vibe. We're going to keep an FPS vibe. We're going to keep something like that. That's a bridge. That means you probably have an audience that is there for your FPS gameplay. Maybe not everybody else's FPS gameplay. Maybe they're just there for yours. But if they're there for that, keep that going, but you got to find a hook. Otherwise, people are going to walk off because, again, it goes back to the, I don't know what I'm getting anymore. So I'm not here for that, so I'm checking out. Now, that does not, hey, it's True Grit. Ladies and gentlemen, I met True Grit at TwitchCon. True Grit, God. True Grit was one of the recipients of the official exclusive TwitchCon 2023 PJ Party bottle opener. Solid steel. See? Solid steel. Laser etched PJ Party logo with the Twitch logo and 2023. True Grit actually has one. So anyways. So like I said, find the bridge. It's okay to switch categories. When you are contemplating, because please, for the love of all things holy content creator, do not just start streaming and have no idea what you're going to do that night. That doesn't help. It's not going to create great content. Better content is planned content. So if you plan on changing streams midway, A, plan that. But B, also take a look at your own analytics. Take a look at the Twitch data that they give you. Figure out what else your community watches. So for example, I could log into Twitch right now. I can go into my creator dashboard and I can see not only what my community thinks of my content, because I can see watch times and all that stuff, but I could also see, did you know your community also watches? And then it will show me streamers. They'll be like, yeah, they also watch, Hindrosa, or they also watch Burks, or some Star Citizen creator, something like that. It'll show me that things. It'll show me things from people outside the category. Twitch will also show me the best times for those categories. Okay. But there's tons of analytics data that will show you where you might want to take your channel mid-stream. So if you're going to make those changes, Twitch gives you some helpful data to do that. Now, if you are very new to streaming, or maybe you have a very small community, you've got like 3, 4, 5 average viewers, if that's the case, you're not going to have a big enough sample size. The data that they give you is going to be mildly helpful. Maybe take it with a grain of salt. But if you've got 100 average viewers, it's going to have a lot more data. If you've got 2,000 followers, it's going to have a lot more data to work with. So the newer and smaller that your community is, take Twitch's analytics with a grain of salt, because it doesn't have a whole lot to learn from yet, but you'll get there. You really, really will. You will get to a place where that data becomes more and more valuable. I got one and I used it to open a bottle last night. GG's. Hey, what's up, Texas Horny Toad? How you doing? So, excuse me. I'm drinking my, I hope we get sponsored, Liquid Death. Oh, sorry. Brand goes that way. Let's see. What else we got here? So, this was a huge takeaway for me personally, because as a co-founder of a content creation team, as somebody who's been streaming for a couple of years now, and I'm growing, I'm really enjoying this, and I'm doing well. This is something I've struggled with, and I love the way that the Kawhi guy put this. You are not a small streamer. I want everybody here, since I don't see a ton of partners in chat, I want everybody here to realize this. You are not a small streamer. You're just not. They even had, hold on, I want to find, because I think I wrote the rest of this down. Where did I put it? No, those are my channel notes. No. Oh shit. What did I do with that guy's quote? Where did it go? Hold on, it's here. You are not a no, that's not it either. No, that's not it either. Oh shit, where did I? Okay, I had the rest of the quote, but it was basically, you are not a small streamer. You are a content creator, you are a host, you are an entertainer, you are a what do they call it? They had a whole bunch of these things. But it's like, don't discount. Hi Zopher, nice to see you. Do not discount yourself by calling yourself a small streamer. The size of your audience isn't important. The size of your audience simply says, I can get more. I can grow bigger. I can do better. But you are not a small streamer. You are a host. You are a creator. You're an entertainer. You're a teacher. Whatever you are, use those words. But the moment you say, I'm a small streamer, it takes away some of the power you have and that you've earned as being a creator. So don't do that to yourself. I have eliminated that from my vocabulary now. I will never call myself or any of you a small streamer. You're not. We all have room to grow. We all have a place to be. We all have things that we want to do. But to say, I'm a small streamer, it automatically takes value out of that, and that sucks. So don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to each other. This came from a partner. This came from somebody who worked very, very hard. I met one partner there who applied one time and became partner. I met another partner who became a partner after 10 applications. The size of the community isn't the key here. It really is value what you create, have pride in what you create, and keep working to make it better. Do that stuff. Okay? I call myself a beginner. Don't do that either. The length of I met one partner. The longest partner application process I heard of was 10. That was a guy named Spiffy. No, Spanky. Spuffy. Shit, I forgot his name. My bad. He's a Twitch ambassador too. But yeah, it can feel like a degrading label. Absolutely. You're not a beginner streamer. You're not a small streamer. You're not a new streamer. You are a creator. Find a different way to refer to yourself. That way you're not filling somebody's assumption. You're not pushing them in the direction of thinking of you in a way that you don't deserve. Now, I'm not saying go out and say, I'm a partner. No, if you're not a partner, don't do that. I'm the biggest there ever was. I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not touching that, Jinxie. Not happening. You just keep typing things in Twitch, buddy. So there was that. Again, this was another panel where they talked about consistency being key for audience growth and retention. Same days, same time, similar content, whatever. They also talked about social media for your marketing. To grow your channel, and anybody at Twitch will tell you this. This is not like some Twitch bashing session. Everybody will tell you, you can't just grow if you're only on Twitch. If all you do is tell people you're live, that's not enough. If all you do is push live and hope that your go live notification reaches everybody, it won't, it doesn't, it can't. You have to do marketing on other networks. You have to be present in other places. Otherwise, your community will hit a plateau, and it could be at different places for different people, but you will plateau and you will stop. Just a fact. The recommendations is this, and I've said this to a lot of people, and the panel confirmed it. What you have to do are find the social networks that are best for you. You don't have to be on all of them. You don't have to be on Twitch, Twitter, Discord, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest. Like, pick 2 or 3 that are relevant to you, your content, your community. Pick the key places you need to be and be there. But you do not and should not be everywhere. It's useless. Your community isn't everywhere. Your community is probably going to be in the same, roughly the same social networks because they're looking for the same content. It's like, no, like all the, for my stuff, virtual photography. I love virtual photography. A lot of you love virtual and IRL photography. If you're in the PJ Party, which by the way is one of the greatest channels in my Discord, go look at the photographs that people post. Rooster, shut up. No. So I don't really use social media as much as I used to. Okay. I would encourage you, True Grit, don't judge it based on how much you use it. Judge it based on how well you use it. The go live button is not your marketing. Bearer of bad news. Sorry. You have to be active on at least 2 channels or 1 channel, but I'm not going to recommend this to anybody, but 1 channel if you do it really fucking well. If you are the king of TikTok content and you know how to make funny short form shit and you can get 1 million views on everything you do, fine. Maybe you don't need Instagram. If you're not that superstar, you got to be on at least 2 networks. People have to see you. They have to be able to find you. That's where they're going to find you. It's just a thing. Also, if you'd like to make money, Twitch isn't the place to do it. Be on other places you can earn money or at least attract money. So there's that. Creamy? Yes, Jinxie. Yeah, never mind. It's a clip. God damn it. So, and we're going to talk about that for a later session, which is media kits and branding for yourself. So we're going to come back to this. Oh, yes. So Anish talked about this. There is no preference in the partner application process. It doesn't matter if you are the queen of TikTok or the king of Instagram or the non-binary ruler of Facebook. Twitch doesn't care what networks you're on. Twitch just likes seeing that you have a community on networks. Now, the partner process or the partner app just changed. This month, the partner app was adjusted. They got rid of some of the vagueness that they had regarding, I think they called it established community on other networks. That all got reworded, and now the main qualification is something, I forget what it is exactly. It's like stream 8 days a week, or 8 days a month. 8 days a week. Stream 8 days a month, average 75 viewers. Like they're very specific on what you have to do now. It's still some flexibility for them. They can still deny people like the CEO. But bottom line, they don't care what platforms you're on. They just want to see that you're on more than Twitch. They want to see that you're putting effort into your community. You're going to keep growing your community and things like that. So find the ones that are relevant for you. For those of you who don't know, I work in marketing. I've worked in marketing for pretty much my entire career, which is a lot longer than some of you have been alive. And if you have questions about what networks might be good for your content or your community, shoot me a DM. I'm happy to let you know. Some people don't know this. I've actually helped build one of these social networks. I am a beta tester for 2 of them. So I see features on 2 of the major social networks of the world that people don't see yet. I'm a beta tester for Amazon. I've helped build social media marketing tools. So, like, if your question is, okay, great, Jug, you said I need to be on a social network. I don't like any of them. Where should I go? I can help you. And I might be able to, depending on what your capabilities are, I might be able to give you some tools that make it easier to use. There are tools out there, and some of them are free. So there's that. Let's see. Oh, this was a big one. This was have a mission statement for your brand. What is the mission statement for what you are creating? Not necessarily your content, but like your community as a whole, the content that you make, that entire thing that is your sphere, your creation, your world. What is the mission statement for that? And I think I actually got the mission statement from Kawaii Guy. Where did it go? What is this called again? This is called Path to Partner. Hold on. Where's Path to Partner? Nope. That ain't it. There it is. Ah, yes. Okay. So Kawaii Guy, when he started, he had a mission statement. I want the world to suck less. So it kind of tells you positive vibes. He's trying to contribute positivity to the world. He wants to help people. It kind of fills a little mental image of what that is. He also had a great statement that I thought could be a mission statement for somebody. The best stories are the ones we tell together. Again, sounds positive, reinforces those ideals, shows that it's a community. It's about bringing people together, all of those. So the idea is that you have something that is easily one sentence crystallizing your community. What is it that represents you? Do you have that mission statement? They recommended having that because when you're applying to these programs, whether it be partner or ambassador or whatever, but in this case, partner, they want to see that you understand yourself. Do you know who you are and what you're creating? It helps them understand, and it helps your audience. So you can share it with your audience, you can keep it private, but at least it serves as a guide for you to know where you're trying to take things. So mission statement, get one for your community. Neebs Gaming, I'm sorry, I'm reading from Rooster Gizmo. Yeah, I said that right. Neebs Gaming used world peace as a pseudo joke when they started, and it stuck, and the community took it to heart. Right, and it's fine. It's a Miss America joke, but it became a mission statement. Cool, good thing. Now it could be funny, but they would prefer to have meaning. But when you're the size of Neebs Gaming, then it's kind of it's a different ballpark. Maybe it doesn't have to have meaning. It just has to have popularity. So there's that. Okay, now I told you guys that there was going to be a big reveal about an urban legend, things that I think every streamer thought was true, and I had it confirmed twice at TwitchCon. It is absolute bullshit. Are you ready for this? If you are a content creator, turn the sound up now. You're going to want this one. That was from when they first started. That's fine. As long as it's stuck, it's cool. To become a Twitch partner, you have to average 75 viewers per stream. To become an affiliate, you have to average 3 viewers per stream. How do you get them? For a lot of us, we get it through raids. And what is the thing that so many content creators ask their viewers to do after the raid? Please go to your URL bar and remove referrer equals raid so that you count as a viewer. That isn't true. Twitch doesn't give a shit what the URL is for counting a viewer towards affiliate or partner. This shook the room. Twitch knows how they got to your channel. Twitch tracks them as a viewer on your path to partner or affiliate by how they got there, not the URL. It's just a fact. They weren't kidding. They weren't lying to deceive us. They're like, guys, we don't use the URL. We just track where that viewer was along their night or day or whatever on Twitch. We track the route, not the web address. Nobody knew this. I was a special guest on Yacht Club on Wednesday night. They had timed commands. There's partners in that room. They had timed commands. Please refresh your browser to remove refer equals raid so that you count as a viewer. It's bullshit. It does nothing for us. So you can stop asking your communities to do it. You can stop telling other streamers to do it. It doesn't matter. Twitch doesn't care. Twitch tracks the path they took to get there, not the URL that shows up on the browser.
Do it again, exactly like you did the last time.
Hey, it's Clover! Gang, gang! What's hip-hop happening? Did you dodge the event cold? I did. I did not get COVID. It's a miracle. So, don't worry about it. A raider is a raider. What Twitch encourages raiding for is that they come back. Twitch says, and Twitch also said, it doesn't matter how long they're there after the raid. So you can tell them to get rid of the URL. Now you're just annoying them. You can tell them to stick around so that they count as a viewer. Doesn't matter. Twitch was flat out there like they could be here for a minute or a day. It doesn't matter until they come back. That's the goal. The value of raiding is to expose your audience to somebody new. And if they go back to that channel, that's when they start counting. It's about community growth. It's not about the raid itself. No one knew that. I was seated 4 seats away from a Twitch partner. He was sitting in the room. He was listening about things to, like how to improve being a partner. But also I think he was expecting to maybe get asked questions. But the dude was a Twitch partner. He didn't know that. He had no clue. So don't worry about it. You don't have to pester the people that have raided you. They don't have to refresh their browser. They don't have to change the URL on their desktop. They're not going to count towards partner. They do show up in your viewer count. So at the bottom of the screen, like on a desktop or even on mobile, where it shows how many viewers you have. Hey, oh my gosh, Battlefield. Hi, I'm sorry, I didn't see you sneak in. Hello. So they count as a viewer. They do not count as a viewer on your path to affiliate or your path to partner until they come back to your channel another stream. So even if you tell them, like I said, you can have them delete the referral, you can have them refresh so that they count as a fresh viewer. They don't. Twitch still says that stream was visited by that viewer because of that raid. We know how they got here. You gotta wait for the next stream. Just a fact. So hopefully that makes your streaming life a little bit easier, a little bit better, and a little more knowledgeable. And then finally, if you are looking at what content to do, analytics, again, Twitch has them. Twitch will show you categories. Twitch will show you times. In the Twitch dashboard, they will show you the most popular times for a category, which might inform how you build your streaming schedule, those kinds of things. I will still pester to assert dominance. I mean, you do you, Jinxie. That's why we love you. Wouldn't the meta then be to just tell followers to go to another stream instead of raiding? No, what do you mean? I want to understand that. Tell them to go to another stream instead of raiding. No, the raiding is the exposure. The idea behind the raid is, hey, if you like what you see, I hope you come back for my next stream. If you don't do that, they can't come back for your next stream because then they don't know you exist. So that's the value of the raid is the exposure. They need to see that you exist and be like, oh, you're cool. I'm going to come back for the next one. Like, Bloden, are you still here? If Bloden is here. Bloden came in last night, met us for the first time, joined the PJ party, and now look, Bloden is here tonight. Yippee! That's the idea behind this. So that's the overall goal. Partner conversations. Since we're talking about the path to partner, instead of raiding and needing people to come back, you instead just spam the link in chat and tell everyone to go there. Wouldn't that count as a chance for affiliate? Yes, but most people won't do that. The raid is the natural way to do it. And also the raid takes the entire community when it works. So for example, if you've got 50 viewers, the raid will take 50 viewers to that community. If you just spam the link in chat, it's only the people that click. And most people are not interested in going to find new content unless they're dragged kicking and screaming. So that. No, don't worry about it, Clover. You're asking a valid question. It was totally on topic. By the way, Hayden, thank you again for the upgraded hydrate. Appreciate it for our hopeful future sponsors. Liquid Death. Murder your thirst. Okay, anyway. With really good water. I'm probably one of the weirdos who naturally stumbled into PJ's stream. Yeah, there's nothing natural here, so it's very odd. You're special. So I did talk to a lot of partners, and I wanted to give you guys a couple of stories about this. One of the things that I did was I went to a private session. It was called Twitch Chats, I think. And it was something that a lot of people didn't know about. But literally, you would show up in a small room, and Twitch just sent partners in there to talk to you. It didn't matter like who you were. Twitch was like, we're going to give you, here, talk to partners, talk to staff. They sent staff in the rooms too. So I went into one of these, and it was intended to be talking to partners and finding out their experience, finding out their path to get there, all of those things. I know that average person here, I love to search for different content. You really do. Rooster loves finding new content. So I sat down in this room and I asked a question that a lot of you have asked me because I've had opinions on this. And I told you that I was going to reveal something tonight about Jug and partner. I sat down in this room. I had at one point 4, and then one of them had to go away. So I had 3 Twitch partners at this table. The first question I asked, I said, look, I get this question a lot from people that are DMing me and they want to, get information about streaming or content creation, whatever. They want to talk about Twitch. They want to talk about the environment and all that. I get this question and I have the question. So it's a popular one. Why should anybody care about being a partner? And I listed it, and I'm talking to the partners, and I was like, guys, your pay has been cut. Your perks have been cut. Your capabilities on your channels have been cut. Like, Twitch has taken so much from you. Why should an affiliate try to get there? And I saw 3 partners just kind of go, well, like, I think that they were a little hesitant to answer because A, they probably don't like the answer, but B, it's personal. I mean, flat out, it's a personal thing for them. I got some very good answers, not necessarily comforting answers. And each of you, if you're a content creator and you want to potentially get to a partner, Twitch partner, that's your decision. Like, it's not something anybody else could or should decide for you. It's your goal or it's not your goal. I got some interesting answers. One was interesting in what wasn't said. Not a single partner in any of the, and I probably spoke to a dozen throughout the weekend, like in-depth conversations about this kind of stuff. I probably spoke to a dozen throughout the weekend. Not a single one of them ever said anything about getting more emotes. Not one. They didn't even think of that as a benefit. I did get one answer that was pretty consistent, though. People will notice you, including sponsors. All of a sudden, and literally you could go from 74 average viewers to 76 average viewers, and all of a sudden you matter. It's a status symbol. It is that thing that says, I've worked really hard to do this and I make content that people like. I heard that from a lot of partners. They said it's helped them with brand deals. They said it's helped them with Twitch. It's a thing where it's like there's a visibility to it as a milestone. And I don't think that's a bad answer. I don't think that's an invalid answer. I think that is something that is valuable. I think that is the thing that you can say, okay, it does get you. I had one partner. She was really interesting when I spoke to her about it. She said, now when I raid, I get more attention. Because she does. When she finishes her stream, she typically raids out. And not all the time, but she typically does. And she said, When I raid now, I get more attention for the raid, and I get more attention, like in chat, she was talking about. And then she said, I also get more attention from the streamer. They seem to care now that a partner has raided them. So it does help you like get more attention. It's like, all right, that makes sense. Partners talked about the fact that it gets you more notice from brands when they're looking for sponsorship deals, if they're looking for partners. And I'll talk about this later, but if they're looking for partners, then, or if they're looking for big streamers, sorry, not partners. If they're looking for big streamers, they want to see a partnership badge. So even if you've got like 200 average viewers, if you don't have the badge to say that you've applied and gone through and been accepted, it could make them wary. I had one partner tell me this. They said, yeah, I think they were concerned that maybe I don't have, I didn't have, because he became a partner. He said, I didn't have, like I got a strike or something. I got a DMCA strike, or I had something that took away my partner badge despite how popular I am. He just hadn't applied. He didn't lose it. He just hadn't applied. He was like, I don't care about it. I don't want to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. Eventually he applied and he became a partner. So there's all of those things. One of them talked about the opportunities you do get at Twitch. So there are Twitch staff opportunities that are really only for partners. Having a partner badge shows them that you are committed to the community, you're an avid member, you're streaming there all the time, all those kinds of things. So it helps if you want to eventually work at Twitch or have some sort of a public role in Twitch as a content creator. Having that badge helps. They talked a little bit about the Partner Plus program, because now you can go back to earning 70/30. It is hard to do. It is literally a level above regular partners. You have to have this 350 paid subs per month, non-gifted, blah, 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 blah. So you got to have that stuff. Yes, Rooster, exactly. It gives you the clout to market you and your brand. It does make you look more reputable. So they also talked about gaining an audience. People like following partners. They're like, oh, that's a cooler person. You know, literally, I could have 75 average viewers. A partner could have 75 average viewers. There is a small part of the Twitch audience that will automatically follow them because like, oh, that's a partner. That's a better streamer. There's a psychology to this. So all of those things, we talked about that pretty extensively. None of them are happy about the fact that they're down to 50-50. None of them are happy about the fact that they had to pay to go to TwitchCon this year. That's another perk that they lost. Last year, partners got free ticket. This year, everybody paid. They're not happy about that. But a lot of them were optimistic that things are going to get better because of Dan Clancy and what he's trying to do with the partner programs. They really are. They genuinely are trying to. So Clover, on my chat, for example, you are a VIP, you are follower number 2. For all of you who don't know, by the way, Abashed Clover was the second viewer to ever follow this channel, and we're now currently at 1,230. So there was 1,228 of you that came after Clover. In fact, everyone here came after Clover. Every single person followed after the genius of Abashed Clover. Clover had to lead the way. So in chat, a Twitch partner will have a purple star. I'd bring it up. I'd have to change some scenes and shit, but it's a purple star. It's the Twitch verified badge that you sometimes see next to their name on their about panels. All Twitch partners have to have that. They can't hide it. They have to have that badge, and it shows up in chat. Twitch staff, if you ever see a staff member of Twitch, they can't hide either unless they create an alt account. But typically, if they're going there as a staff member to look at a channel, which could be for good reasons or bad reasons, I think it's a wrench. Some of you guys might know. I think it's a black and white or a gray and white wrench icon. I think that's the staff logo. I think there's a dev logo. Maybe the dev is the wrench. I forget. Whatever. There's a few badges that you don't often see, but you will catch them in chat every once in a while. So anyways, they're optimistic, but they are disappointed with what's happened in the last couple of years. And I've never cared. No, I did care originally. When I first started streaming, I cared about being a partner. I was like, wow, that's where I want to go. That's where the, 70-30 pay, all that kind of stuff. And then when they started destroying the partner program, I was like, never mind. I kind of don't care anymore. I've changed my mind. I have heard from so many of you that I had one person that I met at TwitchCon. They were a viewer. They thought I was a partner. They're like, dude, you're a partner. I was like, no, I'm not. They're like, yeah, wait, what do you mean? Because every time they've shown up in chat, it's like towards the end of the stream, we've grown the audience. We're, like 75, 100 viewers, whatever we're at. They literally thought I was a partner. And I was like, dude, I'm not a partner. I'm like halfway there. I don't know what you're talking about. But because of this and what I want to do with content creation and the kinds of opportunities that I want to bring to you guys in the community and the kind of opportunities I want for myself, I'm going to be working towards Twitch Partner again. It's a goal. So whatever, I mean, honestly, I've had so many of you that tell me I should go for it. I've had a couple of you that thought I was a partner, which was wonderful. That was a compliment I really didn't deserve. But I'm going to be working towards achieving a Twitch partnership. And I want to make sure that I can open whatever doors are there to open. So we're going to be working on that.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Nice sound pull, Rooster. Nice sound. That's great. See, Caffeine assumed I was a partner. That's what I'm saying. So, I'm not going to divulge a couple of conversations I had with partners about my content and about my channel. I will say 2 partners that specifically looked at what I've done and have kind of heard about, like, because I was talking to them about the community. I was talking to them about you guys and what we do and the fun that we have. I did have 2 partners that said, it sounds like you're on the path to partner. It sounds like you're going to make that because people seem to enjoy the environment that is in that community. So I got some very positive words. I got again, I'm not going to get into details, but there wasn't a single partner that had a concern about the community or the channel or the content. So I think the opportunities are there if I keep working at it. And for anybody, especially if you're in the Discord, I'm constantly posting things of, features I want to create or new ideas that I want to, get your feedback on. It's because I want to create that fun content. I want to create the environment that you guys are going to have fun with. So we're going to keep pushing that. We're going to go on that path. I still have great ideas and I love your ideas too. That's why there's now a suggestions channel in the Discord. If you have ideas on what you would like to see in this community, or if you have ideas on content you would like me to create, you can drop that in the Discord. I don't get offended. I'll tell you flat out. Yeah, I love that idea. Or that's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure how I would do it. Can you give me more information? Or I appreciate the idea, but there is no way in hell I'm going to do that. I'll tell you. I'll be honest. It's okay. But it is going to be something I work for. And I'm going to be working with my content team at Rise Above because I know there's at least one other person on the team that does want to reach partner. So I'm going to help them as much as I can. But that is going to be a new goal for this community. It's something that I let go of about 6 to 9 months ago. And I think it's a big enough thing and an easy enough, not easy. I'm not saying easy. And a straightforward enough thing that I'm going to go for that. So hopefully sooner rather than later, you are all going to be followers and part of the community of an actual Twitch partner. That'll be cool. Then you have to pay me my money. No. So, speaking of that, let's talk about branding and media kits. There was an entire session on how to create a proper brand for yourself and what a media kit would look like. There's 2 biddies. I didn't build this. This has got to be a layer I don't know about. Whatever. But thanks, Caffeine, for the 2 bits. There is your money, you filthy man. Thank you. Leave it on the dresser. So a brand and media kit, how do you create the visuals, the vibe of you marketing yourself? Not specifically to the audience, but specifically to brands that you want to work with, to companies you want to work with. The first tip, the first 2 tips actually. The first 2 tips are critical. If you are a content creator, pay attention to these tips. Number 1, be easy to contact. Now, some of you are saying, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Discord, I'm on Twitch, I'm on YouTube. I'm easy to contact. Wrong. The fact that you're there means that you're there. That doesn't mean you're easy to contact. They may not have a way to contact you. You may not have checked your settings recently and your DM inbox is locked. How will they contact you? If I go look at your about page right now on Twitch, do you have an email on it? I would bet at least 60% of you don't. How will they contact you? Somebody sees your content. Somebody says, I think that'd be a good alignment for our brand. I think we should bring them into our partner program or our affiliate program. I'm going to reach out to them. Oh shit, how? How do I don't know how to contact them. Fuck it, I'll move on to the next one. That's a problem. And I will tell you, the person on this panel is the head of Twitch brand integration. And she said flat out, she was like, there are so many partnered streamers. I've seen partners who don't have contact details on their about pages. How will a brand reach out to them? It's so important. The number one thing you need to have is an email address, a business email address. This is not tip number 2. This is tip number 1.1. Do not have your email address be, sexybitch69@gmail.com. That is not I don't care how aligned it is with your brand. That is not a professional email. Now, Jinxie, I apologize. I just gave out your email address. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to have you doxxed, but whatever. You got to have a professional address. Make your professional email address. Mine is very simple. It's papajuggernaut1@gmail.com. Not hard to figure out, aligns with the brand, and it's safe. But I mean, there was one person who was talking about they got a partner app and they said they changed the name a little bit, but it was basically, oh God, how did he put it? It was, I think it was something like hotboyforyou@gmail.com. And he's like, guys, I can't pass that on to a corporation that's going to pay you money or give you product or they can't align with that. Like they're going to think you're a joke. I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. And if I passed it on, they'd think I'm a joke. Get yourself a professional email. That is 1.1. Okay. So tip number 1 for brands and media kits. 1, make your contact info easy to find. Have a professional email address. Number 2, oh shit, where did it go? Oh, yes. Oh no, that was a different session. Sorry. So another one is we talked about social media earlier. Choosing the networks that you need to be on. Where should you promote yourself? Where should you be sharing your content, etc.? When you are creating your media kit, and I'm going to give you some tools if you're interested in that. When you're creating your media kit, do not list inactive socials. The fact that you have an account there is adorable. If you don't use it, don't list it. That was a big deal for them. They see that all the time. So I was like, I have an Instagram account. Cool. You haven't posted since pre-pandemic. Nobody cares that you have an inactive Instagram account because now you just look like you're lazy. So I have accounts everywhere. I have accounts on LiveSpace. Nobody knows that. I actually have an account on the Twitch or on the streaming platform called LiveSpace. My media kit doesn't show it because I don't stream there. I have a profile on Kick. Papa Juggernaut is on Kick. My account is there. It looks just like my Twitch profile. But I wouldn't list it on a media kit because I'm not there. I don't stream there. I just own the account because I want to protect the name. So when you're building out your media kit, list the socials that you're active on. List the metrics for the socials that you're active on. Do not list inactive stuff just to say, look, I'm everywhere. They will check. Whether Twitch checks as part of its partner program or whether Twitch checks as part of its brand integration program or whether the brand checks as part of their sponsorship of you, they're going to check. There's not a mystery. They're going to go look and see what are you doing. Which brings me to tip number 3. Keep your bio short. They had horror stories of people who had like 2-page bios. I learned to play the piano when I was 7 years old, and then I was the head of the Girl Scout troop. And it's like nobody cares about this shit. Shut up. Your bio should be approximately a paragraph. Make it interesting. Make it relevant to your brand. But please don't ask them to read the wall of text. They're not going to. And it's kind of like a resume. If it takes me too long to work at it, I'm just going to skip it. That's what they're going to do. Okay? Clover, we're getting to that. Trust. I got one the day I signed up at Gmail back in 2005. That's a good one, Caffeine. You want to hang on to that thing. Last thing a viewer wants is a wall of text. Right. Zeph, same. Right. That's also true for viewers. Viewers don't want to read a wall of text. Brands don't read a wall of text. Don't do it. Just skip that part. And then the design. So on your media kit, your overall look, your about pages, your profiles, your bios, that needs to look like your community. It needs to reflect the same design. So whether I find you on Twitch or YouTube or Discord, it needs to look like your channel. It needs to look like your community. If your YouTube page is all pastels and I don't fucking know. Anime, Jesus Christ. If it's all like pastel and anime colors, and then they show up on your Twitch page and it's all angry, Sphinx character, like everybody's gonna be like, is this the same thing? I don't think it is. We're at the wrong page. Where do we go? Screw it. This person's not professional. We're done. Make everything look consistent. It doesn't have to look identical. Like it doesn't have the exact same header everywhere. Like mine fluctuates a little bit, but it does have to say, yes, Caffeine, your branding matters. But it does have to look like you no matter where they find you. So be consistent about that. Okay. The next session I attended was called Working with Brands. So now that I've talked to you about branding and media kits, now that you're working with them, what do you do? Okay. So this is big tip number 2. I'm sorry. I thought these were the same session. My bad. So the first tip was make sure that your professional email and other contact details are easy to find. That's an easy overlook. So make sure you tackle that. Tip number 2, if you have a brand you want to work with, name them. Do not list categories you want to work with. Oh, I want an energy supplement. Oh, I want a car brand. Oh, I want grandma's blankets. Oh, I want insect protein. List the brand. And I'm not saying on your profile page, like that's not what I'm talking about. But build a list for yourself of brands you want to work with by name. I want to partner with Honda. And then have a reason for it. Like don't just pick shit out of a fucking corporate dictionary or whatever. Like Respawn. Right, exactly. I think you should make the Liquid Death Can PNG bigger. It's big enough. It's fine. They haven't sponsored yet. If they sponsor this channel, it gets bigger. There's perks. But anyways, so like I said, have a list for yourself of brands you want to work with. Okay? Be specific about them and then do things to go after them. You're seeing me do this now with Liquid Death. I've been kind of doing it wrong. I had reached out to Liquid Death. It took me forever to find who to reach out to. I have never heard back from this person. And then when I went to TwitchCon and I saw all these tips and I was like, okay, this worked for them. I'm going big or going home. Because if Liquid Death doesn't sign up, I'll move on. But I'm going to make the effort for Liquid Death because I think it aligns with the brand. I think it's a fun brand to work with. I think you guys have already said some of you enjoy it already. I'd love to have more people enjoy it if they sponsor. So I replace his face cam with a Liquid Death sparkling cam. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you will see this skull. I'll do an overlay where my face replaces this skull. Absolutely. We'll have tons of fun. I love integrating brand stuff. This is what I do for a living. So anyways, who do you want to work with? Don't list categories of things. List companies. List brands. I want to work with Apple. And I'm not saying, so once you have that list, I'm not saying you have to do what I'm doing with Liquid Death. This is just my fun way of showing them and trying to get their attention. And I'm also helping, show this to you guys. But you can do this type of thing a million different ways. You don't have to be this over the top about it. Sometimes you just write to whoever their head of partner program is or whatever the person, just like, hey, I would love to join your partner program or your affiliate program or whatever. How do I do that? And maybe they just have an application you fill out. Can't find one for Liquid Death. So I'm not saying you have to do what I'm doing. I'm simply saying if you are going to set yourself up for brand deals, write them down. I want to work with, and then list the companies you want to work with. Do not do categories. Okay. Next, when you are presenting yourself, and I'm sorry, this is going to hurt some of you. I love y'all, but I've warned people about this a bazillion times. Who's drinking coffee? Chappie, stop it. This is not Coffee Channel. We don't talk about coffee here. Oh, we don't talk about coffee. Okay, anyways. So, hi, Grummage. So anyways, lime, they have some great, yes, I believe, I'm starting with the original, the whatever, flavor number 1. I'm not going to call it the regular. So, again, this is going to hurt some of you, and I'm sorry, but a fact is a fact. When you're talking to a brand, don't call yourself a variety streamer. Ideally, don't be a variety streamer until you get huge. When you're big enough, you can change categories 12 times a day. Nobody cares. They're there to watch you, and there's 1,000 people that are doing it. For now, for those of us who are working towards that level, don't call yourself a variety streamer. Don't put it in your about page. Don't put it in your YouTube bio. Don't put it in your Twitter or your X bio. You know, whatever. Jesus Christ. It doesn't mean anything to brands. I've heard this from brands. I've heard this from chief marketing officers. I've heard this from the head of partner programs and affiliate programs. I've now heard this from partners. I've heard this from the head of Twitch integration. I heard this from the, what was her title? Some other, she was, I'm screwing up her title, but she's basically a partner liaison. Like, she manages Twitch partners. Her whole job at Twitch is to make sure partners are getting properly customer serviced. And you know, helping them with deals and things like that. All of them, they were all uniform in this. If you call yourself a variety streamer, that means nothing to a brand and will probably turn them off because they don't know what to align with. They know who they are. They are not a variety brand. They know who they are. They know who their audience is, and they've spent millions of dollars cultivating that. When you come in and you say, I'm a variety streamer, they're like, well, then what the hell are we aligning with? Do we only align with half of your variety? It is such a danger to you. Again, I encourage you, do not be a variety streamer until you are the size of like a top 1% streamer. But if you are, okay, it's a harder way to become a partner. It's a harder way to grow a community. I'm not saying that, I'm not telling you not to be, I'm just encouraging you not to be. Don't do it when you're going with a brand. Do not ever position yourself as a variety streamer because they don't know what that means for them. It's a useless term and they will probably throw it out. So avoid it. Next, have your elevator pitch. We talked about mission statements earlier. That's a 1-sentence summary or a 1-sentence statement of, boom, this is what I am, who I'm what I'm accomplishing, the community, all those things. It's a cute synopsis. Have an elevator pitch. Have something that is condensed, 4 to 6 sentences, maybe something in that realm, you know? Oh, on TV, you know, you guys have heard me. It's it's a version of an elevator pitch, but like when we get rated here in the PJ party, hey, welcome in. I'm Papa Juggernaut. I stream 2 games and 2 games only. I stream Starfield and Star Citizen. And then I talk about the community a little bit, and that's it. Have an elevator pitch when you're talking to brands. Have that. That way you can immediately and succinctly give them a quick synopsis of what you are. That will tell them, oh, cool, I'm interested. I want to learn more. It's going to hook their attention a little bit, and you want to push that conversation forward without just, you know, fucking word salad dumping all over their brains. And just like, oh, so here's what I do. And then you're talking for 2 minutes straight. They tuned you out a minute and a half ago. Don't do that. There should be an education. Oh, that would have been a good one. I didn't think about that. Hi, U.S. military. I'm Comfort69, and I stream nothing but hentai visual novel games, and I want to be sponsored. Right. Too long for a mission statement. Too brief for an elevator pitch. Too offensive for 99% of the brands of the world. But you're nailing it, Clover. You got that. I stream 2 games and 2 games only. That's right. There's a reason I repeat shit, guys. People have to remember things. It's just a fact. That would get you more followers. Signed, former soldier. Gizmo's like, I nailed it. So have an elevator pitch and practice it. And guys, I have, as an executive, as a corporate executive guy for a couple decades now, I'm very good with elevator pitches. I've received formal training in them. I know how to write them. I know how to read them. I know how to help craft them. If you want help with an elevator pitch, shoot me a DM. I would love to craft one with you. It doesn't cost you a dime to do it. Okay. Next, what is your community about? You have to be able to explain, not as part of necessarily your elevator pitch, but separately in the conversation, you have to be able to explain what your community is about. I'm going to give you the same thing, and this is going to hurt some of you. Fun isn't the answer. Sorry, it's just not. When you're talking to a brand, if you say, oh, my community is all about fun. Okay, what does that mean? Because apparently, Clover's idea of community fun might be different from the real Chappies. So fun is kind of a vague throwaway word. It's like good. What does good mean? I don't know. Maybe we move on. Yeah. Chappie says, yeah, military humor is not society, right? Civvies don't get it. Okay. Civvies don't understand military jokes. Civvies also don't understand that a hat is a cover, but that's a whole other thing. That's a whole other part of the verbiage that people don't understand. You have to be able to quantify it. In a sense, yes. Kind of, yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. It's hired. Shoot me a DM. We'll talk about whatever you want. But yeah, you have to sort of summarize what the community, like for me, some words that I might use would be creative, compassionate, energetic, chaotic. I'd probably skip the chaotic depending on the brand. For Liquid Death, I might use chaotic. For Microsoft, probably wouldn't. You gotta figure out how to position that for the right audience, but whatever. There's plenty of brands. Oh, no, of course. No, absolutely. Chaos? Where? Yeah, Jinxie's excited now. So again, avoid words that are what I call throwaway words. It's a common term. Avoid words that don't mean much to a brand because it may not align. Now, you might want to typically, so for another brand, let's say for Apple, you probably wouldn't want to use the word death in your pitch, in your elevator pitch, in your mission statement. Death might not be the thing that Apple wants to align with. Death might be exactly what Liquid Death wants to align with. So you gotta think about who you're talking to. When you're talking about these people, by the way, be mindful of time zones. This is going to come as a surprise, but not every company on the planet is in your time zone. You might be on the East Coast. For you, it's 8 a.m. For Apple, it's 5 a.m. So if you write an email at 8 a.m. and you're like, cool, business is open, I'm going to draft my email to Apple and I'm going to get a sponsorship. Bing! And then you're sitting there going, well, it's been an hour. Why haven't they written back? I don't understand that. I'm going to email them again. Hey, haven't heard from you. Wanted to check in. How's everything going? Would love to hear back. Hoping for a sponsorship. Thanks. Bye. It's now 6 a.m. at Apple headquarters. They're not writing you back yet. Be mindful of time zones. Also remember, I don't care where you are in North America, some companies are headquartered in Europe. And if you're on the East Coast, that is a minimum 5-hour time gap. They're 5 hours ahead of you. So if you write them at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, guess what? It's 7 o'clock at night there. They're closed. Be respectful of time zones. Be respectful of holidays. For example, if you are writing to a company that might be headquartered in, I don't know, China, if it's a Chinese company and you decide to write them an email during the Chinese New Year, your ass isn't getting a reply for a couple of weeks. So think about it. Just be mindful of this shit. 9 hours from the West Coast, depending on daylight savings time and where they are in Europe. For example, the UK is either 7 or 8 hours ahead of Pacific. But when you move into Germany, it's 9. That kind of thing. So, a couple of you asked earlier. I told you we'd be getting back to this. What about retweets? Do they read retweets? Yes, they do. The head of Twitch brand integration said that is part of her daily tasks. When she's looking at a potential brand deal, she will go through the tweets of a partner. The guidance they gave is this. Do you need to be the one giving that hot take on Twitter? Like, if it's not you, is it just going to be not said and all of a sudden you're the only voice that's going to say it? Maybe you keep that hot take to yourself. Maybe you treat yourself as a brand instead of an opinionated asshole. You have to be so careful with this. You might have a hot take on politics. You might have a hot take on gender identity. You might have a hot take on cars. You might have a hot take on food. If you decide that this was going to be the day you woke up and choose controversy, maybe don't. Because they will go through your tweets. They will go through your Instagram posts. They will go through your TikToks. And if you decided to have an opinion on whether or not Jada was loyal to her husband, Will Smith, or if you decided that one day you were a big fan of Chevy and then 2 years later you decide that you're going to be going after the Ford sponsorship, they're going to wonder, why are we talking to you? If not me, who else, right? If not me, who? I retweet so much R34 stuff, I'd get at least 30 sponsors every day. Chappie says, my policy is this. If it's not gaming related, I don't reply. That's fine, but gaming related tweets can get you into trouble too. You might be, whether intentionally or unintentionally, you might be showing yourself to be a huge, in your case, maybe a Bethesda fan or something like that. But maybe you get approached by Activision. Maybe Activision sees something about you and like, hey, we'd love you to show one of our new games. But all of your tweets are about Bethesda. And I'm not saying like avoid everything. That's not the point of this. The point is, don't take that controversial position if you don't have to. Okay? Stand up to Nazis, yes. If somebody decides that they're going to be a homophobic racist on your channel, or in your social media, yes, stand up. Take that stand. That's not risky. Tell them that you're opposed to racism. But like if you're the one who has to have a comment about Donald Trump, maybe don't. If you're the one who has to have a comment about Joe Biden, maybe don't. Just think about how other brands might see you, especially now that you've made your list of the brands you want to work with. How will they see you if a lot of opinions are coming out of your social media? It's a risk to them. They need to know that this is not somebody who's posing danger to their brand integrity. So be very, very careful with those hot takes that you drop on socials because they can come back and bite you in the ass. Just a word to the wise. What else? Oh, that was it. Okay, so that was the end of working with brands. The next session that I went to, I'm trying to fly through this, guys. The next session that I went to was called Innovations in Streaming. Now, the description of this particular session said nothing about what I found when I got there. It was like, yeah, you're going to learn about the latest in streaming technology and blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. Okay. It was actually a circle jerk between OBS and Streamlabs. The panel was all OBS and Streamlabs people, and I think one representative from Twitch. But it was basically what those two companies are doing to talk to each other and how they're going to make streaming better. I walked out. This was the second of two sessions that I walked out of. It was a bunch of partners, there was three partners, I think. There was 3 partners there. There was 2 Streamlabs people there. There was an OBS rep there, and I think a Twitch person. I could be wrong. Whatever. I sat down and I was like, what the hell? And then like their logos were all over the place. I was like, oh my God, it's a sales pitch. Hell no. And I sat there and I listened for a few minutes, and it really was. Like there were two of the partners didn't even know that they were supposed to be there. They were like, yeah, so I was asked to be on this and I just want to share my story. And I was like, dude, nobody cares about your story in this room. We're not here for your story. We're here to learn about the innovations of Twitch or the innovations of streaming tech. It was literally like there was parts of it. In fact, I believe Rise Above member Captain Morgan, I think he was there and I walked out. He told me he was there. That's right. So Captain Morgan was there and he said, yeah, it was Streamlabs and OBS. And I was like, well, that fucking sucks. Yes, Clover, they did. That's why I won't use Streamlabs. Streamlabs has no problem taking code, taking content made by creators. Streamlabs is a fucking thief. I won't use them unless everybody else goes out of business. But it was just a sales pitch. I was there for about 8 minutes and I walked out because it was just a big waste of time. So what I did was I went over to the Science and Technology Community Meetup, which I was hoping to meet Twitch partner Moohoodles there. If you guys have not met Moohoodles, she's raided the channel, I think once or twice. I've raided her. She just became Twitch partner. She applied one time in her career and was made partner the first time. So good for her. So I decided to leave innovations in streaming and I went to go talk to Moohoodles. I went to the Science and Technology Community Meetup because I figured that's where she was because she was going to be on a science panel the next day. I go there and the room is oddly split. It's this huge room. You could tell they took one of those divider walls. They pulled it apart. So now you have one big room. But there was a little, like the little line stanchions, the little guardrail thingies between the room where the wall was. And I was like, well, why didn't you just keep the wall here? This is dumb. But there was a gap. There was a little gap. Literally, there was room for two people to walk it between them. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around and I'm like, shit, she's not here. And then I see the other side of the room is decidedly different. I'm on the Science and Technology Community side. Okay. People are wandering around. They're having conversations. It looks like a little meetup room. The other side was entirely female. Science and Technology was co-ed. Whatever the other side of the room was entirely female. And I was like, that's weird. And I'm looking. There's Moohoodles. You can notice because she has long, bright purple hair. And I'm looking around and I'm okay. What is this? This is weird. And then I see a little tiny sign. Little sign on a little table. Women's Guild. It's the new Twitch Women's Guild meetup. It was in the same technical room as the Science and Technology meetup, which was easy for Moohoodles because she could bounce back and forth between the two. And I was like, you know what? I came here to meet Moohoodles. So I wandered over into the Women's Guild room. I got looks. There was a couple people that were looking at me like, oh, hi, what are you doing here? So that was kind of fun. So anyways, she was super nice. I was walking across the room to go see her. She was talking to what looked like 3 fans. Maybe they were other content creators. I don't know, but they might have just been women content creators and not partners or not part of the Women's Guild. I don't know. But she was talking to these 3 women and they were having this great conversation. As I'm walking up, she sees me across the room. She cuts them off and she's like, oh my God, Papa Juggernaut. She runs over and then we go back to the other group. Oh, hi, Dadouche. By the way, I just saw your name in chat. My apologies. I missed you earlier. Hi. Oui. So anyway, so she runs over, we say hi, and we go back to the conversation. I was like, no, please keep talking to them. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to say hi whenever you're done. So we talked for a little bit, and I did. I had a conversation with her as a Twitch partner, and I talked to her about my community. I talked to her about her community and her path towards partner and all of that. So it was kind of cool. I got to see, and I took photos of her because she didn't have an entourage. She wasn't there with anybody. So I took photos of her getting her photo taken as part of the Women's Guild, as Twitch partners, like all that kind of stuff. So she has some mementos, which was kind of fun to see. But it was great that, the women of Twitch, which is a very underrepresented and very attacked group as a streamer, to see them have their own space, I thought that was pretty cool. So I got to have a great conversation with her, and then I saw her later at another event. But anyway, so I left the ridiculous sales pitch from OBS and Streamlabs, and I went to go talk to a Twitch partner and learn things. So yay, good for me. So the final thing that I told you I would talk about tonight, this wasn't the final panel that I saw at the session at the TwitchCon weekend, but it was the one that I wanted to close with tonight with you guys. I've said this before, and I've said it to many of you who have come to me asking for advice about being a streamer, a content creator, somebody on Twitch, all of that. I have never seen, and I've worked in some very grueling industries. I have had a career of very difficult people to work with, difficult industries to work with, sexism, racism, homophobia. I've had to fight a whole lot of battles in a whole lot of places. I have never in my career seen the level of mental fatigue, stress, and burnout that I have when it comes to content creation. This unique space, this unique industry crushes people. And I think it's for two big reasons. And you guys are welcome. Whatever, if you have opinions in chat, this isn't Twitter. If you have opinions in chat, you can post them in chat. We can have a conversation about this, but I wanted to offer you guys some tips. I wanted to offer you some resources. We're going to tackle this as best we can. Burnout happens. And again, I think there's two main reasons for it. The first is that the barriers to entry to becoming a content creator are almost non-existent. Anybody can technically do this. Not everybody can do it well. Not everybody can earn an income, but technically, pretty much anybody can push go live. Okay. So already you're opening the doors to anybody who wants to. There's no real barrier to stop them. So it opens up that audience. The second is that most human beings, and this is culturally true, this is geographically true, this is ethnically true, most human beings are not prepared or truly wanting. They may think that it's fun to be a celebrity or whatever they want to call themselves, but to be somebody who creates entertainment for the public, that is a very, very hard thing to do. Because when you do that, you are the product. You are the thing that people are paying for. You are the thing that they are choosing to spend time with. You are the thing that you're going to get the feedback about. If you're selling vacuum cleaners and the vacuum cleaner doesn't work, they're going to complain about the vacuum cleaner. If they don't like your content, they complain about you. They're not complaining about Activision. They're not complaining about the basket that you're making. They're complaining about your ability to entertain them. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a few people on the internet who love to share opinions about other people. It just sucks. Oh, yeah. Okay. Exactly what Rooster just said. Yes, it sucks. I quit the medical industry for 2 years because of burnout. Clover says, people think it's just gaming, but then you want it to be a paying job. It's just another soul-crushing pit now. I'm not sure I'd go that far, Clover, but it really is, guys. It is such a challenging way, and you do have to have a unique skill set. Once again, just by coincidence, I have to go back to the conversation that Dan Clancy and Harris Heller had last night on Twitch and Kick and YouTube, because he simulcasted it. There was a question that Harris Heller asked him, and I think this came from one of Harris's viewers, not from Harris himself. But he asked Dan Clancy, what one skill, in fact, Bloden, if you're still here, you and I talked about this a little bit. What one skill do you wish more streamers had? And I would not have thought of this answer off the top of my head, and I'm sure he's thought about it, but Dan Clancy had a great answer, and I wholeheartedly agree with it. Improvisation. Twitch is a talking platform. For you to be entertaining, you have to be communicating consistently all the time when you're doing this. To do that effectively, and almost any actor will tell you this, or any MC or host, you have to have the ability to improvise. You have to have the ability to engage with whatever your chat is pushing you in the direction of doing or pushing you away from, changes that you didn't expect. Like I said, last night for like a half hour, Dan Clancy and Harris Heller are sitting there trying to figure out audio problems. That wouldn't be expected normally, but that derailed their content. That derailed their interview. They had to have the ability to roll with that. They had to have the ability to just say, cool, let's deal with it, or let's abandon this and do something else that can do what we were trying to do anyway. But you have to have that ability to entertain with improv. Something may be funny that wasn't supposed to be. Something may be sad that wasn't supposed to be. You have to improvise what you are now doing and still be entertaining. It's a hugely valuable skill that most people don't have. So as you think about the ease of wanting to do this, the ease of starting to do this, and then realizing all of the challenges that come with it, it's a very, very difficult space to stay mentally healthy. And mental health is no less important than physical health. If you break your leg, you're going to treat that. Well, guess what? If you break your soul, you're going to treat that. If you break your mind, you're going to treat that, and you should. It's not something that should be shunned. It's not something that should be stigmatized. Mental health is just as important as physical health. And this industry, if you get into it, the mental health concerns are real because you're the one on display. You're the one that people will criticize how you look, how you sound, what you say, what you do, what you play, where you play it. All of that comes in. It's a very tough thing to do. Burnout, there are ways that you can help avoid burnout, though. And that's the cool thing. So like I said, in the Rise Above Discord, we have a dedicated channel for mental health. Is there a resource there that you might need today? You don't have to ask somebody for it. It's just there. Go do it on, if you want to stay private about it, go do that. It's cool. If you feel like you're burned out, reach out to other streamers, your community, family, and friends. It will help. So yes, for the most part. I'm going to give you a couple of tips when it comes to your presentation of mental health to your mental health to your audience. This comes from the seminar, or from the session. The first is communicate with your audience. You don't have to disclose
exactly like you did the last time.
Mother Nocturna. Hi. This Mother Nocturna is a wonderful advocate for positive mental health. She has shown up at just the right time. Thank you, Nocturna, for the resub. We are talking about mental health and burnout for content creators right now. So first thing, communicate with your audience and your community. You don't have to divulge what you don't want to. Okay. You don't have to be like, my diagnosis, you can just let people know that there is a current struggle that you're going through. And you can be as vague or as specific as you want to be. Okay. You can let them know that you have to take a day off because you are not in a mentally healthy place. Now I'm going to give you a couple of caveats for that. The first is if this is happening to you regularly, if you are, I'm going to say consistently, but that might not sound like the right word, but if you are at a place where you are doing this on a fairly regular basis and you are constantly saying, okay, I'm taking a mental health day, I'm taking a mental health day, I'm taking a mental health, like if you're doing this once a week, this isn't a mental health day. This is something that you deserve to have checked out. You need to get help or provide yourself some help. You may have a resource where it's sort of a self-care type of a situation. But if you are regularly saying that you need to take a mental health break, maybe this is not for you. Do yourself the respect and the favor of recognizing that this may be an industry that is not right for you. It's not worth sacrificing your sanity. I promise you. It's just not. The second thing is, when you are discussing this with your community, it is generally, now you do what you feel is right, but some of the advice that I got was it is generally not advised to become the pity party. If you're constantly going to the community saying, here's what I'm suffering with, please focus on me, your community will check out because your community will burn out. Your community is not there to be a therapist. They will love you. They will help you. They will be your friend. But if it's a constant thing, eventually they will get to that point of, I'm not your doctor. I can't keep helping you like this. You need professional help. And again, there's no stigma to that. There's no negative to that. You just need to get the healthcare that you deserve. Go get that. So there is a fine line you have to walk, like everything else in content creation. You have to be careful with how things are presented because people have opinions and they share them. Good times. So yes, Nocturna, that's a great phrase. Comfortable honesty. Comfortable honesty. I love that. Why does that say Shaber? Oh, because hi. I didn't see Shaber step in. Sorry, my bad. So be very, very careful about that. The other thing is communicate boundaries. So very similar to what Nocturna just said about comfortable honesty, you also need to communicate your boundaries with your community. Just be honest with them. It's not like you're lecturing them. It's not like you're, chastising them. Like, no, you can't step over this line. You can just let them know, I'm comfortable talking about this. I'm not comfortable talking about that. Most of you here know you are never going to know jack shit about my private life. You know I am married. You know I have a child. You know I live in Southern California, and you know I work in marketing. That is the extent of what you know. The reason for that is two. One, my family didn't sign up to be famous. So I'm going to respect what they want. They can be as forthcoming as they want. Some of you guys saw the when my wife got her really amazing thigh tattoo. You saw that. She was comfortable putting that on camera. It was fun. We got to check out an amazing piece of art. That was cool. You didn't see her face. You don't know her name. You don't know her job. It's those comfortable honesty, comfortable boundaries. Be honest with your community about that. If there are things you're not going to go into, tell them. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I think it was Rooster that said this earlier, reach out to other streamers, reach out to your community, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to say that list was exactly the way I would put it, but the recommendation that was given to me was identify and know your support system. For some of you, it's going to be other streamers. For some of you, it's not. You're not interested in the opinion of other streamers because maybe you don't want to divulge to them what you're going through. That's okay. But you should identify and know who your support system is. Maybe it's IRL friends. Maybe it's family. Maybe it's an anonymous support group. Maybe it's a phone line that you can, a phone number that you can call and you can speak to a therapist with no cost, maybe. Whatever that is, that's fine. Just make sure you identify it, you have it ready when you need it, and you know how to use it. As long as you're doing those things for yourself, that's a huge step forward towards protecting your mental health. And I really, really encourage that. Follow that advice. Do it so that you have it when you need it. Okay. Another one, have a routine. They talked about this, saying that it's kind of similar to being consistent. So, like I said, you're streaming on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Maybe the time changes, but the days don't. Or maybe you're always a nighttime streamer and the days change. Okay. Or maybe you're always streaming one consistent type of game or genre of categories, things like that. They said that's one form of consistency. The other form of consistency for your mental health is in IRL. So for your real life, have a routine for yourself. Maybe in fact, one of the examples they gave was having a pre-stream prep. Have a process you go through. One streamer was talking about, it was one of the partners was saying that they had a 10-minute basic session before they push go live. So they would light it. I'm trying to remember what their process was. They would, it's time for bed, early morning for me. Thanks for the, no problem, Chappie. Have yourself a good night. They would light a candle, meditate for like 5 minutes, like a really quick meditation session. And then they did something with their lighting. I forget, like they made sure, like it was a mirror. I forget what the rest of it was, but they had like a routine. It was what they did those 5 to 10 minutes before they went live. There was another who had a routine that involved their setup. They literally checked every part of like every audio setting, every video setting. They went through and they're like, okay, this is still correct. This is still correct. It was just sort of that OCD thing that got them into that point of, I'm comfortable going live because I'm comfortable taking the steps to make sure it's a quality product. So like everybody's got this little ritual, the little thing that they do. For me, before I go live, I make sure I grab my can of liquid death because I want to murder my thirst. Have a routine for yourself. It can help both ground you. It'll keep you prepped. It'll keep you awake. And it'll make sure that you feel comfortable with what you're doing. And it's not going to be a surprise every time you go live. It's not going to be a surprise every time you do something new. It's, I've done the work necessary. Okay? So have a routine. The other thing, and this is a big problem for streamers, not all content creators. Streamers tend to get into the habit, and I'm not saying I've done it, but I've kind of done it. We tend to get into the idea that our recorded content has to come from our streamed content. It doesn't. Sometimes one of the things you can do to protect your own mental health is not go live, but publish content elsewhere. Maybe you're doing, in my case, I might do a virtual photography project. Maybe that's the way I'm avoiding, the the stress of other people's going live. I don't get stressed by being live. I love doing it. But maybe I'll work on a virtual photography project. And that is content that I can put out to the community. That's something that I can be proud of. That's visual, things like that. So it's a way to take the live element out, but still be the content creator out into the world. If that's what it takes to protect your mental health, then maybe two conversations need to occur. A, am I streaming too much for my own comfort? Or B, is streaming right for me? Maybe I should be doing edited YouTube videos, pre-recorded YouTube videos. Maybe I should be focusing on TikTok videos. Maybe I should be focusing on Instagram posts. It still gives me that creative outlet, but I don't have to deal with the stress if you feel that. If you feel the stress of being live, now you don't have to be. So have those honest conversations with yourself about where you feel most comfortable. Even if, I'll go back to the previous example. Even if you think that I really want to be in the NBA, that's cool. But if it's not meant to be and it's not the skill set you have, maybe what you really want to be is just a really good person in the world of basketball. Maybe you become a basketball coach. Now you don't have the player pressure. Now you're coaching people and helping them realize dreams. Maybe that's your fulfillment. Have those healthy conversations with yourself to see, is this the right career? Is this the right hobby? Well, whatever, it may be for you. So definitely do that. The last thing I want to leave you with, I'm going to put this in chat because I want everybody to bookmark it. This is going to go in the Rise Above chat too, because I had to check this out first. I didn't want to just drop this in here and be like, okay, guys, it's a link. Like, I took a look at it. It looks reputable. It looks like valuable resources. The link that I just put in chat is takethis.org/resources. This was recommended by a Twitch partner that was on the panel about Burnout. This was an entire panel dedicated to this. They were on the panel and they said that they have used this resource before and it got them through difficult times. So you're going to find a few different things on that site, but these are mental health resources. They will be relevant to content creators. I think all of them would be from what I saw. And like I said, if that's what you need to do, if that's part of your support network, put it to use. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be ashamed of it. Get the care you deserve. And I don't care what anybody else tells you, you deserve it. You deserve to have good mental health. You deserve to be a happy human. You deserve to get a goal accomplished. You deserve to reach a dream. If you click that link and that's your resource, great. Good for you. That means you had the courage to at least help yourself. That's awesome. So like I said, this is not an easy industry. There is a ton that you can learn. There are people that you can learn it from. This is what I learned at TwitchCon. This is why I go to TwitchCon, although I will probably be going to CitizenCon next year. But anyways, Havoc, hold on. I'm sorry. I just took a very somber moment and I was like, hey, look, I'm screwing it up. Hold on. I can't do it in the OBS chat. It doesn't work. Guys, I have to get this settled with Havoc because it got screwed up last time. I'm not saying it's Aristavo's fault, but it's totally Aristavo's fault. Where am I going? I'm going to Twitch. Hold on. You're going to hear my stream twice for a second. Channel. Perfect. All right. Where's Havoc? Literally 5 minutes ago. So the reason that I am getting Havoc a tier 1 Twitch sub is because
Let's make some new friends.
There we go. Because Captain Havoc is a Diamond Discord sub, and one of the rewards that I give those who are Diamond Discord subs is I pay for them to get a tier 1 Twitch sub. So Havoc, thank you for your renewal. I appreciate it, sir. You are now once again a Twitch sub here in the PJ Party. So guys, like I said, there is a ton of stuff that is available to you if you decide that you want to be a content creator as a hobby, as a part-time income, as a full-time income. There's a ton of information you can get from TwitchCon. It's also fun to see some of the stuff that they've got drag shows, they've got cosplays, they've got dance competitions, they've got gaming competitions, they've got product showcases. It's a fucking blast. It's amazing. So You want well, go get the Discord one. I'll cover you next month. Yeah, but a diamond Discord sub, I pay for the Twitch one, or the Twitch sub. So I do recommend going to TwitchCon if that's your thing. But like I said, if not, if this is something you want to do, I'm happy to share the information that I have. There are plenty of resources that you can reach out to in terms of how to make content, how to stream, how to create videos, how to edit videos, and also how to protect your mental and physical health, because that is the most important thing. I don't care how rich and famous you are. Being rich and famous while crazy or broken sucks. All right? So take care of yourself. Have fun doing what you do. There is going to be some hard work involved. There's going to be some time that you got to invest. There's going to be some effort you got to put forward. But have fun with what you do overall and go be a great creator. There's somebody out there that will watch what you do. Go find them. That's all we're going to be doing for tonight. We are going to go find... Who should we raid? Nocturna's not live yet. We can't raid Nocturna because she's not there. Normally she goes live around 11 o'clock my time or 10 o'clock my time. We can go raid. Anybody ever recommend? Oh, we've raided Mahoodles a couple of times. We should spare the love. Anybody have 10,000 points they want to use to guide the raid? Hey, it's Store Citizen. What's up? Oh. Captain Havoc says 100% worth it. All the added benefits and the Twitch sub is most awesome. Thank you, Captain Havoc. I appreciate it. I don't see Ren live. Ren is not on my live list. Are we sure Ren's live? Voldrosa? Okay. We have a Voldros. Oh, there's Voldrosa. Okay. Yep, I got Voldrosa. Got it. Okay. Somebody actually redeemed. So we are going to raid Voldrosa. Raid Voldrosa. Oh, hold on. Guys, okay. So I'm going to explain the decision I just made. Take with it what you will. I would normally love to raid Voldrosa. I have raided Voldrosa in the past. I have been in Voldrosa's chat in the past. I do not raid channels that are follower or sub only, and that is currently the mode that he's in. So whatever special content he's creating, my community will get there. They will not have the ability to interact with him unless they follow, and I don't require that of any viewer. So if you want to go talk to him and tell him to turn it off, I'm cool with that, but I will not raid a follower or sub only. So you can pick another target if you'd like, or you can tell Voldrosa to go turn it off. But I'm happy to drop the community there, but I won't do that. So, and typically, guys, sometimes that is because they're doing something exclusive if they're in sub-only mode. Yeah, you could also refund. Of course, you could refund the raid. But, if they're creating like sub-only content, they're doing it for their channel subs. That's not something the rest of us need to drop into anyway. So, they're doing that for a specific group of supporters, and I respect that. So it's totally... What is he? Hold on. He's playing Cyberpunk. Hold on. We're going to listen to Voldrosa. What is he doing? I was trying to send her. What's he doing? Why is it follower only? He said he changed it. Oh, did it? Okay, cool. Then I will see it. Okay, so here we go. We will now go say hi to Voldrosa again. He deserves it. So Voldrosa is a member of the Rise Above team. Voldrosa, I will read you the tags, okay? Check this out. VTuber, Chaotic, 18+, Dragon. Oh, shit, they went away. Dragon, Pansexual, LewdTuber maybe, Rise Above, No Pants Gang, VTube, and Madness. So currently playing Cyberpunk 2077, yes. And it looks like he's having his usual good time. He's been live for about 4 hours. So let's go say hi to Voldrosa. And again, everybody, as I always recommend, if you like their content, please drop a follow. If you don't like their content, feel free to move on. I don't encourage you to follow anybody that you wouldn't normally go view. We want to keep that to be, the community you want to watch. So make sure to check them out. And again, if you have any questions about what I saw, what I talked about at TwitchCon, what I shared with you tonight, any of that kind of stuff, you are always welcome to DM me. My DMs are open on every platform as far as I know, unless, X decided to close them again. So reach out however you'd like to, and I'd be happy to answer some questions. If you have a question about Rise Above, we are a team of professional content creators. We are committed to content creation as an income, as a career. So if you have questions about Rise Above, feel free to shoot me a message, and I will be happy to answer questions there. Otherwise, right now, we're going to go say hi to Voldrosa. So I hope you have a great weekend. If you are a Twitch sub, I will have a stream for you tomorrow. You didn't know that, and now you do. Surprise sub stream for tomorrow for Twitch subs, so I will see you right here. Go have yourself a good morning, a good day, a good night, whatever it is for you, and I will see you next time. See ya!